We should be live on YouTube too. Yeah. Can whoever's in the stream right now tell us if there's audio. And if I don't see any comments, I will assume there's still
Okay,
no
there's
audio.
audio now. I can hear it.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. So welcome everyone. Tech Pause episode 3. I'm gonna like gloss over a little bit of what happened earlier. So yeah, I'm here together. It's a full five of us. A full five stack of Tech Pause is here, except for Mochi, who is running a little bit late. So OBS logo right next to me on this side. This side. Yes, and yeah, everyone else is here. Datum L Salvatore, who is fresh from Batangas. Who funny story apparently. I'll let Salvatore tell it. Right, this deserves to be repeated on
Oh
stream
my god.
because I don't
And
know who's gonna get pissed off by this, but I'm sure it's gonna be funny.
I just hope no one. But yeah, so Batangas was very, very great. I left on like the afternoon of Friday. We got there very, very late. So when I just woke up, I was just told that I should be there early, as later than expected. I should be there like around 1, but I was told I should be there at like 11 because of like some mishap or something. But yeah, Batangas people are very, very nice. The mall was fairly new, but to my surprise, a lot of people actually came in to tune into Valorant, especially into the grand finals, wherein like everyone's like on the edge of their seats because it went to a game 3.
Mm.
But yeah, a small
Oh,
conversation with a very old CS 1.3
He
player.
still used the same
he
adjective. I
said
love
that.
it.
So I'm
I
assuming we can be heard on the stream
I
now.
think we're still in the stream. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so
Okay, so
Salvatore just said he said
basically, okay, so like basically, he's a very nice middle-aged man that plays CS 1.3 back in the day,
Mm.
and then he got very hooked to the Valorant finals, which takes him back like a lot a lot of days in the ye old days, the glory
The
days
old
of CS
days.
1,
Yes.
the
So
one point the 1.3
what
days.
is when you say middle aged man, what does that mean, bro? What does middle aged
Um,
mean to you as the
middle
youngest person in the
age.
chat?
He's probably in his mid 38s, heading to
30s.
40s.
He means 30s. Middle aged.
I
Oh,
mean,
like he said late 30s. I guess that counts as middle age? Question mark.
38s, heading to
Like
40s, I
if we're
guess.
Bro,
thinking of like what is the usual expected lifespan of a Filipino person?
no, listen, listen. When you say middle age, I'm thinking something like 50, bro. 50.
That's middle.
No, but it's what you call middle aged.
Me? That's my saying of middle
I don't
age.
know. I don't know. When you have a midlife crisis, it's supposed to be 50, right?
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, that's
every
why like when you say quarter life crisis, it's
25.
25, bro.
has. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, every time we reminisce about our age, we always act, damn, we're old. See? So there's like always a connotation, whatever age we are, it's
Okay.
definitely old.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
that
glad you
is
Has
had
to
a
be
nice
old.
time.
fair.
I'm glad you had a
That
nice
is
time in
very fair.
Batangas.
Has to be
Okay,
old.
so how was yeah? Who competed in the Batangas tournament? Like who
Okay,
was there?
so it was very prominent names on the South region, and the one team that was from VCT. It was Old Stinky Cap, but was representing GNet Mekawayan. So
Oh.
it went to a game 3. The South representatives were named what do you call this? Forgot frauds. There we go, frauds. And it was made up of Nebu and I forgot the names there. But
Gneth
Nebu was
was.
the
Sorry to cut you off, but I think
GNet is
Gneth is.
OSC.
Yeah, right. Like Owen, right? Owen, Aeonix,
Yeah.
right?
Owen Folex, Aeonix,
And
and
Dignified's there too, right? Some
yeah,
the newer names in the scene. Who
yeah,
I
and I
really like what they're doing.
yeah. So like they're just taking over the whole Game Fest thing. They have like South
They're
Mall,
farming, right?
yeah, North EDSA,
They're
and they
farming,
went
man.
Pampanga. They went Batangas. My goodness, they're like traveling for
Yeah, dude.
um
There's an upcoming one in Cebu. I think it's gonna happen next week. A
Yeah.
friend of mine's gonna be casting the online, and another friend for the LAN. And I think it'd be funny if we saw OSC actually show up at the
No way.
over in
No way.
Imagine though,
They're
they show
already
Cebu.
up.
they have to be
And
rolling right now.
there's Cebu, and then there's Hilo, I think. That'd be
They have
pretty
to be like
insane.
they have to start rolling right now. They
What
want
is the
to
prize pool for each leg of the Cyberzone Game Fest thing?
forgot actually. Let me just check it real
Like 30K,
quick.
something like 30K,
Has to
I think.
pretty
Yeah.
sure. There's nothing shown here actually. There we go, 30,000.
Mm.
30,000 prize pool. That's just a pool. So I do think 18 goes to the winning team. That's like already
That's a
covered
lot.
by the expense. Has to be a
Yeah,
lot.
but like I don't know, like if they're farming each of the legs, right? Did they go to Baguio? There was a Baguio leg, right?
I think there were I think they separated their own ways when they entered Baguio. Because I think Folex had his own team when he qualified for Baguio. But
Oh,
for the other legs, they were like the whole OSC team.
I see.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I've been seeing like this OSC team. I think there's a lot of promise in them. Like if they keep playing like this, like maybe even get a coach, they might look better. Although to be fair, right, I was watching you casting that OSC game, and there are holes in it, but of course it's dude, it's tier 2, tier 3 level stuff. So like who cares, right? As long as they're having fun, they're winning. Why not, right? And when it comes to that kind of thing, those kinds of tournaments and teams like that, I think being on stage and playing together on stage is
It's
great
crazy enough.
experience, even if you don't have a
Yeah.
coach yet, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
anyway, talking about VCT last week or this week, right? Some interesting things have happened.
Okay,
It's
okay.
From
interesting.
I've I've been like just silent so that I'm saving all my energy for this segment.
Dude, dude,
This
I've
man's
just been
cooking
like
to tell you
silently.
guys what happened,
just
right? We went to the
I just
Oasis.
waited.
We had fun, right?
Yeah.
Matt, Mochi, and I, and Nur, who's probably watching right now as well. We went to the Oasis, the convention, right? Afterwards, we stayed in the hotel. It was a 2 days in the hotel, where we chilled, and then on Sunday we went around, like I think it was Mega Mall, while watching VCT. And what happened in VCT was we opened the stream, right? It's freaking Team Secret versus Zeta Division.
Are we doing this now? I thought we were saving it for the end of the podcast.
I mean, like that last segment is like we're putting two people and deciding who's the bigger word, right? But we're gonna see that for later for the end. But yeah, so what happened was, we're on Icebox. We open it up, right? Funny thing was we were in Mega Mall in front of the ice skating rink,
Mm-hmm.
and we see Team Secret getting booty slapped on the second map of the
Hey,
series.
I
Right?
thought
okay,
you were.
those are the
It's
choices of
PG
words.
channel, man.
My man, I thought you were
I
gonna
mean,
mince your words.
I'm trying to make sure that we are not demonetized in the first 3 minutes of the video. So we open it up, we see them getting booty slapped, and we're like, wait, what's going on? It was Lotus, I think, that we were watching.
Yeah, Lotus. Yeah, Lotus.
And the IGL for Team Secret, right? Again, we've been talking about him the last few weeks. Some interesting things happened while we were watching. We noticed at the end of the game, I think it was game two. It was a 3 map series in
Mhm.
Lotus, and at the end of the second map, Lotus, Zesty Vash had a record-breaking kill, KD8. Record-breaking as in it's the first time I've ever seen it. I don't know if anyone else saw it, right? But for those who don't know, it was a 0-17-3, I think, and like he was getting memed on by like even the Team Secret social media manager started cooking. It was so funny.
It's so crazy. It's crazy.
But I do like though, like after they lost that second map, they then went on to the third map, which was, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually Icebox, and they had a pretty good showing. Was it Icebox?
I think it
It was
was
Icebox, Lotus, and then Sunset for map
Sunset.
3.
Yeah.
It was
Sunset.
Sunset, right?
Mm,
And the Sunset comp for Team
yeah.
Secret, right?
Yeah,
I
you had,
think we were laughing about it last week.
I distinctly
Where
remember you have some stuff to say about this comp, Josh, because we were in the ice skating rink, as you mentioned. We were loud, guys.
we
we
were
were like eating
loud, like
ice
we were
cream at the
sitting
table.
in.
Yeah,
It was what's the name of the restaurant? I think it was
I
called the
don't
Whole
remember. I
Bing,
don't
right?
remember.
We ordered some bingsu. We were watching here, and we were talking about like, oh, they're on Sunset. Jesse Bash is playing Sova again. Does he have new lineups? Did they change it up? Is there a new like game plan?
While
And generally,
retweeting
right?
Doc's hit tweet.
And it was so yeah. The Doc's hit tweet. I
Banger tweet, by the way.
banger tweet, by the way. If you guys want to see it, you'll probably see it if you go to his Twitter. It's Dropout Candy. But you know those classic clips, right? Where it's highlights, and it's like one kill. But for this one, it's literally zero
No
kills, bro.
highlights.
He edited,
No
and it was
highlights.
so funny. It's
It's
the
like a minute
exact same
video.
format. It was a 1 minute B reel of going around the map, and then it goes Jesse Bash highlights Team Secret versus Zeta. And it says, thanks for watching, 070.
It was crazy.
But
It
yeah,
was a
I
crazy weekend.
it was a crazy weekend. It was a crazy comeback too, right?
Josh.
On Lotus. And they have somehow been able to show up on the third map with a really good performance. And it's like to me, like this guy, he got his booty slapped in the last map, but now it seems like he's untiltable, right? I mean, because if that was me, I got 017 on one map, I'd be like, bro, give me a break.
Yeah, I think Josh. I think this look that Team Secret showed in that series is exactly where they're at right now. I mean, we talked about predictions the past couple of weeks, 2 weeks ago, and we kind of set the standard, right? We said Zeta was like a lower midfield team, Team Secret being like the higher midfield, but they're both midfield nonetheless, right? We predicted Team
Hmm.
Secret to win this, but I think this showing from Jesse Vash this weekend was a perfect demonstration of where they're at as a team right now. Because you take a look at the performance from Jesse Vash from game one. It's okay. It was Sova on Icebox, so he was expected to perform. And then game two, surprise, surprise, didn't play Sova, and he got 0-17. So there's that. And then game three, he played Sova again, which is not conventional by any means in Sunset. But then he performed. He actually performed so good in Sunset, right? So I think this is really what Team Secret is characterized of right now is they have to have Jesse Vash on Sova. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work out. It's gonna turn into 0-17, which by the way is a fade. Fade is not the top pick in terms of initiators. Not even close. It's Gecko, right? And it's still an let's face it, it's an abysmal performance from Jesse Vash here in game number two. So I think the lack of versatility here from their IGL is one of the key weaknesses of Team Secret in this Pacific run in
Yeah,
particular.
in like the current meta, right? Which it's concerning to the point that Jesse Vash has been playing info initiator for the longest time. So you'd expect, right, that he can play a fade
Hmm.
That's
or any
true.
other info initiator. Like, because like I'd understand if it was a flash initiator, but fade at least has kind of the same role, right? You get info for the team,
Yeah.
open things up, make it easy for them
And
to pinpoint what specific spaces to look out for, and if not, then what's going on?
And I think that's crazy, Josh. I think that's crazy because I think Sova is so much harder to play than Fade. Like
Oh,
by a mile. And I don't understand why it's like
Ah,
because
true.
this.
you need to worry about, like, when you're using the recon, right? You need to worry about the,
Yeah.
the, the angle, the power, the number of bounces. For Fade, what do? Throw eye and wait.
Use dog.
That's it.
Throw eye. That's
Use
it.
dog.
What do
Damn,
you? I don't know. What do you
simplified.
think, El?
I mean, to be fair, it's in his role, right? That he should at least know how to use fade. Like, yeah, you said that it's simpler. Yeah, I just throw this eye right here. I just let my dog out, and then when it's over, I have to calculate the angle of this area to get the optimal shock dart. Like, that's what he does best, right? He has like last week's match in the breeze game. He has a cross map lineup for
Yeah, it's
Sova Dart.
crazy. That's
But he can't
crazy.
even shoot back. And the game is Valorant, right? You need to shoot back in order to be a pro. But if you can't do that on the simpler agent, well, I think this team has bigger problems than him not fragging at all. It's not even bottom fragging, it's not fragging,
It's
right?
like
So
not fragging, dude. It's
it's not.
zero. Like in the pro
It's
league.
yes, sir. I mean, to be fair, I want to shift your attention away from Jesse Bash. Talk about another egg in the
Ah,
scoreline,
yes.
right? So I think RQ had that as well, but to be fair, RQ is kind of better, I think. But going back to Jesse Bash, yeah, this team has more problems when he doesn't show up. If he does show up, it just minimizes their problems. But I don't know. It's just a big pot of when will we see it again, and do we see it again?
I hope not, right?
I hope
But
not.
there is a good thing that happened, bro. They
Yeah.
might have gotten fucked up on the second map, but they delivered in map number 3 and delivered us. We've been asking for this for 2 weeks and longer. Finally, a team secret win.
Yes, yes. I mean,
And
hey,
I
a win is a
respect
win.
that, bro. He
Finally.
comes back from a 0-17. I think he was second or third frag. At some point in the last map, he was top frag. I think
Mm-hmm.
he had a really good performance in the first half of the map. And I respect that, right? But at the same time, how do we prevent that from happening again?
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a
not
really
let him
tough.
play Fade,
Yeah, that's a really
maybe.
tough question. Well, that is one answer, but the thing is, I'm taking a look at Team Secret's recent games. Right, they played against DRX, played against RRQ, and I think Jesse Vash is still trying to figure out what type of comp or what type of agent he's going to run in Lotus. The last time they played in Lotus, Jesse Vash ran a Sky, and while it was a better performance than his 0-17 run, it wasn't as good as his Sunset. It wasn't as good as his Sunset last week. It wasn't as good as his Sunset 2 weeks prior, where he was also a top performer against DRX, even though they lost that series. And I think Lotus is still just a sore spot for the moment. I think it's still trying to work out what type of comp they're gonna run there.
Yeah, true. Although, I mean, like when you think about it, we are essentially it, are we halfway through the first split for
Um,
Shanghai?
Mm,
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Technically.
And if we're halfway to Shanghai and we're approaching playoffs, right? We're approaching playoffs. You need at least 2 wins to get into playoffs. And then on top of that, of course, not just being in contention, you need to be in the top 3 of your group to be able to make it into playoffs.
the good news
And it's been
is,
3 weeks, bro.
well, Josh,
I'm
listen.
worried.
The good news is Team Secret. Okay, they're in Group Alpha. They're with Genji T1. The good news is, Josh, they're with Global and Bleed. So I think
Wait. It's all coming together.
Ah,
it's
yes,
all
the
coming to full
master
circle
plan.
now.
I think they have a good shot. I think they have a good shot. Not gonna lie.
Fair. That is fair. That is fair because like you're not technically against the people that you're playing against, right? To get into playoffs, you just need a better score than the other people in your group.
Yeah,
And let's face it, GE, Zip, Bleed, Zip,
yeah.
and it's like who else is there, right?
T1 and Genji. I think Team Secret just need to bleed. Just need to beat Global and Bleed, and then they're good.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. Team Secret just if you mean by group, yeah,
Yeah, by
they just
group,
need
just
to
by group.
beat G and Bleed. And to do that, they have to go through Paper X,
No.
Talon Esports, and DFM, right?
Oh,
So
DFM. Oh.
DFM, that's the match
ah,
of the century, man.
Yeah.
ah.
That's like El
Wait,
Clasico matchup.
that's
That's so depressing to hear. El Clasico. Team Secret versus DFM. Oh my gosh.
that is. The worst part is right because DFM have been pretty good. They were decent last week. They actually won a match against a surprise win, right? Which is they did win against, was it T1? I think it
T1,
was
T1,
T1,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And given the amount of time that DFM were given, like they looked pretty well drilled last week. It's just like not enough. Maybe a little bit more, right? And moving into the next few weeks, I'm at least expecting them to look better than what was shown previously. And again, with that being said, like if they're going against DFM, who seem to be on a rise, and TS a little bit more towards the plateau, or more of a flat line all across the board, right? At that point in time, will TS have been able to put together a strat book that is uh, large enough to beat DFM? Will Jesse Vash have gotten over the non-Sova 017? Right?
I think it
Yeah.
depends a lot on the map pool here because the last time these two faced was in kickoff, and DFM actually 2-0 Team Secret, right? But the thing is, DFM they specifically target ban Team Secret strong maps. Like they immediately ban Icebox, and then they ban or they pick Lotus. So you could absolutely see just the amount of prep that DFM has put against Team Secret. But I think it could have gone either way if Team Secret got their maps. So I think this is a good sign, at least. I think it's a good sign that Team Secret are experimenting on maps like Lotus to sort of prepare for this El Clasico matchup, if say anything, because there's a lot of people who are going to be watching this matchup. It's going to be a real litmus test for Team Secret, and they have got to win this series. They have to win this series if they want a shot of making it to Shanghai.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think also it's a point to be taken that if this TS and DFM match happens, I think they have to go to May. Like he's the final boss for DFM, right? We see like
Ooh.
that match last week or this week where May was just he's just
Crazy.
carrying the whole country on his back right there. And it's such I mean, to be fair, he's the only one with he has more frags than the bottom
64
two.
kills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has more frags than both the bottom fraggers, two of the bottom fraggers combined, right? So this guy is just an absolute beast. I think it's just a matter of time about how this DFM team would want to revolve more around him. I think right now they're just wait, go you do your thing, and then we're just gonna do our thing. But I think that doesn't work. And if it comes to a time where TS has to face them, and it comes down to DFM having that down, and having maybe part of the core actual game plan of just letting him be activated, then TS is just gonna receive more than a 2-0. They're gonna receive like the whole country bashing on them. Maybe I don't really know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, dude. Like
Uh,
it's concerning because uh how the Filipino public, right, hit on at the flip of a switch, they will immediately start roasting you. Like one round they're like NDG is a god, and then the next is like
NDG
NDG, why are you
sucks.
here? And it's the same thing, right?
And
Jesse Bash is so
NDG means
good.
not doing good.
oh my god.
I saw that. I
Uh,
saw that. I think it was in YouTube
uh,
chat, and it was so. It's like,
that's
damn, guys, there's so
that's
much
a that's
energy
a
put
head
into these memes, bro.
that's a head bash of a banter right there. If I get said by that, that has to be like a mental burn,
Yeah.
something like that.
Wait,
God,
wait, wait. I
golly.
actually found the doc tweet. To give you guys a little bit of context. Kim, our director, go ahead and put on the share screen.
Here
Put
it
it
comes.
into share screen, right? And yeah, this is Doc at. I think he chatted us. He was like, "Hey,
I want
I'm
to
gonna
make a
post a
video.
video."
I'm gonna make a video.
I'm gonna do it. I'm
sabi
gonna
pa,
do it.
sabi pa nga
You're
ni
like,
Doc,
dude,
sabi ni
here
Doc,
it goes.
500 Gcash, I'm gonna do it. He did it anyway, without
He
anyone
did it
sending him
anyway. He
any
did not
money.
care.
This
Look
is
at this long ass video.
I'm pretty sure Doc watched that one Kerrigan video, and he was like, "I swear I'm gonna do this video, and this was the perfect time."
God, it was
Alright, let's
so
watch it. Let's
he
see it.
did it
Let's see it.
so fast, man. It was way too fast.
He
It was
did
way
with
too
no
funny.
hesitation. Yeah.
Zero. Like he sent me 500 Gcash. I'm like, if you remove a zero, maybe I will. And then he posts it anyway. He doesn't care, bro. Like,
He was
wow.
definitely waiting for this moment. Yeah.
He was waiting for this one. I think I feel like it was a template that he had in whatever editing software, and then he just put in the
Put in the
stuff and
text.
posted
Yeah.
it. It was so funny. But anyway, yeah, I think for Team Secret, they're looking steadily better. But I think that the map pool, like Matt said, right, the map pool is not exactly the widest for Team Secret, right?
Yeah.
So if you can pull a DFM and target ban the maps that you're gonna be playing on, then it'll be pretty good for whoever's on the other end of the TS fight. And uh guys, the matches for this week, Team Secret are going against Paper Rex first.
Well, I think for that matchup in particular, we all have set expectations, guys. Let's be
Yep.
real. We're
What
not.
is there to predict?
Let's be real here. Paper Rec is looking great. Jing is
Absolutely.
back, and Team Secret they're behind. They're behind right now. Right? Just the map
Definitely
pool
behind.
last week. I mean, they did win the series, but come on, that Lotus is disgusting. So I
It
think
was horrendous, bro.
yeah. So Paper X I think is certainly going to take this away, and I think there's no shot. There's no shot. I think Team Secret just
Yeah,
has
so
to
like we're
use
gonna
this.
hope for a DFM, but if we're proven wrong and they win against Paper X, then hooray, right?
Yeah.
Hooray.
Well.
Give us some more hopium because
Yeah.
we need TS back on the world stage, bro.
Yeah, we do. We need someone up there. But I think
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway that Team Secret can get from the Paper X matchup is that prep. Like, we get them up against teams that have had international success, and then work from there. Team Secret needs to work hard for the next coming
They
weeks.
do. They need to go into
Yeah.
scrims, go into a freaking hyperbolic time chamber with 5 PCs and the coach. Get warbirds inside, no cameras, whatever, no documentation. Right, just write down a paper and pencil. This is what you're gonna do. We're gonna drill the attack side of Lotus, then we're gonna drill the defense side of Lotus, and then do the same for the other maps. But they're gonna need time, and I don't think time's on their side, at least for the Paper X match, right? But
Yeah.
at least, right, I think the idea, at least for Team Secret, right, is to be able to try out those things against Paper X. The new strats that they've been able to cook up over the last few weeks. If they haven't tried it, try it against Paper X. If it works against Paper X, then holy crap, we have a weapon. If it doesn't,
Wow.
then go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and I do think this is a good time for TS to try and utilize what it means to be an APAC team, considering they'll probably most likely use Paper X as a solid foundation for their following and upcoming matches, which could probably determine their momentum entering into those series. Wherein could they try to open Ascent once again, or will they try to still try to enclose on their very short map puddle, as we can say? It's not actually a
Mhm.
pool; it's just a small puddle of map choices for them. But
You
I
could
really
do
do.
a bathtub first.
Oh wow! I mean, but to be fair, I really do am excited because there's going to be a lot of good shape up whenever Team Secret does get a good amount of time plus foundation slash momentum, I guess. So potential matchups for Team Secret, you have like Jeremy versus May, you have Jeremy versus Governor and all like that. So I'm really excited for the upcoming matches for Team Secret, but I do think that whenever I hopefully not lose to Paper Rex, uh,
Well,
it is going to be disheartening to me, like having them face DFM. I do think at some cases DFM will surefire win the mental game even before map vetoing starts. You know, they just have to play how Paper Rex taught them probably. So Team Secret needs to revitalize whatever they have in mind, considering Paper X is indeed a benchmark of a team right now.
Mm,
You know.
exactly. Or
Excuse me.
I think it's
Or
gonna go the other way because it's going to be Paper X first, right? Paper X does
yeah,
not shy away from Sova maps, and they're going to be facing like Team Secret who can only play Sova
so
maps technically. So if the Sova
oh
doesn't
god,
work on those maps that Team Secret has,
what about
what
the
else
rest?
can they bring, right? What else
Exactly.
do they work? What else
Oh
can work
boy.
on?
I think
Oh
for Team
boy.
Secret, I think it would be a good idea if they just went non-server maps. Like pick Lotus. I mean, what do you have to lose? Just pick
I
their
mean, you
worst
lost
maps.
everything already.
Yeah. Wait. Let's
Wait,
slow down.
wait, 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 wait,
Not
wait.
everything yet. I mean, they can still make it to playoffs. So
They
hold
still
on, hold
can.
on. Yeah, they still can. Okay, Mochi's here.
hey,
Mochi's here. What's up, Mochi?
Morphe has
hey.
made it. We're gonna wait for their camera to be set up, but yeah, we're chilling for now. Uh,
What are we
like
talking about? I
Mochi,
forgot.
where were you? Where did you come from?
I had to bring my mother to the hospital
Oh no.
for a
Oh right,
checkup.
right,
Oh,
No,
right.
it's
Yeah,
a
the
good
checkup,
thing
right?
because like,
it's a checkup.
yeah, because it had they have to like monitor her if her
For
eye is
eyes.
like doing well and healing because she
You got
Ooh.
undergo an
LASIK.
operation. Uh nah, it's more like there's like a lens that's been put into her eye.
Oh,
So
so it's
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
oh.
So after two
And
weeks
Oh.
it
was
should
it
be
both
okay.
eyes?
Now only one for now. For now.
Oh, I see, I see, I see.
Because if not, then she won't be able to see with both eyes being operated. So
Oh, it's
it's
one
Ah,
at
that
a
like
makes
time.
sense. Oh, naman. It reminds me of that old. You guys probably watched Drake and Josh. Maybe Salvatore not. But
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Okay,
You
okay. This
dare
is this
you
is gonna
dare
sound
question my Nickelodeon history?
this is gonna sound like I'm faking it, but I haven't seen it actually.
what?
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Anyway, moving on.
And
There's an episode in Drake and Josh where someone's bossing. It was Josh's boss got both her
ah,
eyes operated on in the same day. So she was walking around the house blind, and it was so funny.
Why are
But
we
yeah,
talking?
that's
Why are we talking about eyes, bro?
yeah, we went
cursing on the
from team
camera right
we went
now.
from Team Secret to Eyes.
We went
for
from Team
sure.
Secret to Drake and Josh. But anyway, I think maybe we've delved too deep into the whole Jesse Vash 017 thing. I think to shorten things or to really just summarize everything, I think Jesse Vash, credit to him, he's untiltable. He came back with a great performance in map number 3 after 017. But if that happens once on Lotus, what do you do? Right? How do you make
Let's
sure it doesn't happen again?
yeah,
And yeah,
let's
we've
ask
discussed it
Mochi
earlier.
thinks. Let's ask what Mochi thinks about that
Well,
Team
yeah, what
Secret
do you think about the
performance.
whole what do you
Vashti.
think
Well,
about Jesse
this is
Vash in particular? Or like
wait, is it about Jesse Vash specifically or the 017 incident?
Well, both,
I
I
mean,
guess.
it has something to do with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like there's just like an issue in terms of how comfy he is in using a different agent, like frankly. But other than that, I still really admire his perseverance because after
Yes.
that is like, you know, go to a new game. Let's use the same agent, and then just do what we can. And then he's managed to like do that. I even saw like a tweet that he gave his mouse that has like a quote unquote bad
oh yeah, I saw
omen
that.
to
He
like
gave it
a
away,
Korean
right?
fan.
Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
he
be
gave it
honest here.
away.
I gotta be
Yeah.
honest here. I don't think the bad omen is on the mouse. Just yeah, honestly speaking,
No,
honestly speaking,
I just
I
find
think
it
he needs to
really
cut his
sweet
hand
though.
off. You know,
The
just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Honestly, as a coach,
dude.
I would tell my
For
player to do that.
context, I'm pretty sure L started is like is an essence has an essence of roasting people out of like from out of nowhere probably. I feel I already got roasted and now Jesse Vash is already like burnt to crisp right now. Just from L alone. Like
Imagine that they're just eating peacefully his dinner and then bigla siyang nabilaukan because of L. You know?
I was like, where is this coming from?
man, man probably bit his tongue for like 5 times now.
Oh,
I am just waiting for like the later ones because I have more beef with others than Jesse Bash.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
He is not done cooking, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
not done cooking
no,
with
he
my
ain't.
thoughts.
He is not.
Can wait.
Oh, my
That's
camera's back. Okay.
well, to sum it up, much we basically pointed out the same things. How they're kind of struggling Team Secret in Lotus. They're still
Uh-huh.
experimenting in terms of what agents they use. Last time they played in Lotus, they went for Justifier Sky. Not the best either, but it certainly isn't as bad as that
Mm-hmm.
Fade. So I think going up against Paper X, we were seeing how they have nothing to lose. I think they should just experiment as much as they can. Take
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
what
yeah.
experience they
That
can from that Paper
experience.
X matchup. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Test
That's
what you
true.
can as you can. Anyway, yeah, moving on. I think again we've maybe overcooked a little bit on the Jesse Bash thing, but it's probably because we're very passionate. We want the Filipino team to make it into
Guys, we
playoffs, to
love
make it
Jesse
into
Vash and
freaking
Team Secret.
put them
That's
in
why we're
Shanghai. Okay, I want them to get into Shanghai. But anyway, moving on, right? Let's talk about DFM, right?
Ah,
Where DFM were able to 2-0 Team Secret in kickoff. Uh, they were able to beat T1 surprisingly last 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last week, they went down against I think it was Gen G,
Genji,
right? Which
Genji.
is, to be fair, no surprise there.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, right? How May had crazy performance in T1, and I think there's some shining moments here for DFM. They have some star players in their roster, but the thing is, it's really hard to, or it's basically impossible to rely constantly on May popping off to get that success, right? So there is that factor of it being sort of a one in a million type of performance against T1, a team that we have. T1 was a team that we favored so much going into the predictions, but DFM having that performance on May and then winning 2-1 against T1, you see what I did there, is is something that
Okay.
I think could be could be one of those cases where May just popped off, which is why they won. And I think yes, that's a good thing, but in terms of repeatability and how you do it again, especially in the next coming weeks, is I don't know how it's gonna turn out. Are they gonna have the same success against other teams? I'm not sure.
I mean, you're talking about it like it's a one-off thing that May popped off. But if you look at all their matches so far, it's May always on top, right?
That's
So
true.
this
Yeah.
That's
is
true.
this is what I've been talking about like earlier. That if this team can just find a way to not find it in themselves to I'm gonna peek out the smoke. I'm gonna just rotate alone. They're not going to have these losing performances because if you watch their matches carefully, you're gonna see sometimes Medusa just swinging out of a smoke, or maybe it's going to be Anthem using a Sky Flash too early. It's those little things that don't really add up towards what they're trying to do that brings them down, right? And May's just been this glue, but the glue that hasn't settled in yet. It's just been put in. The wood's still together, but they try to break it apart already. They're already stress testing it. So if you can see more discipline and more togetherness from this team, I think they could work as a functioning contender, much like Zeta has been in the past few leagues, right? In the past few years. And we'd want that. But the problem is, we need to get them together on the same page. We need to make them work together, and they need to just play around May. Not specifically play like, oh, we're gonna have to protect this king. We're going to have to play around how he sees the game and how do we support it around him so that we can get the kills that he gets, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more of those lines.
Yeah. And I like that. DFM actually been steadily improving
Mm-hmm.
in some terms, but I think it's more, yeah, like you said, it's the small things that are that it's not a discipline thing. It's more like it needs to be drilled into their heads, right? Where
Yeah.
you need to have so many scripts, you need to go through practice matches, everything to be able to not think about jumping off the cliff, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, your intrusive thoughts say, hey, maybe there's information on the other side of the smoke. Walk out like Anthem did, and you get shot in the head, and you're dead. For that round, you lose the round. You're the first death on your team, and then your round proceeds to lose. Your team proceeds to lose the round. And yeah, I think with a little bit more drilling, DFM could do great because when you watch when they actually do look like they have a plan, right? Where you see
It's
May
actually
being set
good.
up with the flashes, the smokes, and everything, they do look good, right? And then I don't think it's a macro problem. I think then at that point it is the micros, the drilling, the protocols, the just having been practicing with your team for as long as possible to just trust them with what information they have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Actually, from what I see, I've been checking like their previous matches and stuff. I mean, yeah, May always or usually top ranks, but there are some games that he doesn't. And most of the time, someone in the team has to step up, which is specifically Medusa.
Medusa. Mm.
So I feel like
Medusa.
that's really important to note as well. That hopefully it's not just Medusa, it's not just May who will be able to step up in times of there is a need in case that there is some struggle of keeping the team together. Specifically knowing that Anthem is like the in-game leader of the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he has to. I have to agree with what Elle said. I really feel like he has to like take into account what May has in mind and then try to work around that considering that he's the one who usually spearheads those types of stuff. and try to build up a foundation from what they can see with the strengths that they have so that it can combat their weaknesses, with specifically the inconsistencies between game per game. Since according to the stats, there's like, I don't know, like for example, there's this specific player at the second to the top next to me, and then next game before we even know it, he's already at the bot frag. So yeah, hopefully you can know more and see more about EFM because well, they're looking much much better than before. It's just unfortunate while looking at VLR.gg, I was like, oh, it's red days.
Lots of red.
It's just red days, but pretty green. So I guess that's a lot. It's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
What
And
So
this is it's
sorry,
a young
sorry, sorry.
core.
Mm.
Excuse
You
me.
go for Salvatore. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Say your piece. Say your
So
piece.
so so from what I noticed, so like a lot of teams really do have other options whenever like this one player doesn't get to frag. So you have someone for like PRX when something goes by a little. You have like Forsaken or Jing just stepping up out of nowhere. You have T1 when Carpe is running out of gas. You have like someone from Excurate just fragging out mindlessly. But when you have a team like TFM that their primary option is May, it is really a struggle for him to just give him all the pens and papers to just make a mountain out of a molehill. So I do hope that the lineup of DFM really tries to step up a little. Probably help May in times wherein it's not just going to be May that's going to be the sentinel, the initiator. That he's playing like a mindless sentinel as a duelist player. So so there's like a lot of teams that really utilize their sentinel players, like let's say T1 or even PRX, that really anchors one of the duelists, that really sets up a lot of opportunities for them to actually get convincing rounds, or if not, those rounds that they play around the very very textbook like. So if TFM really wants the best chances out of removing the impression that DM is this team. We went like no wins last year. They really have to have a solid play style that could really, really guarantee that they could have a second option or a third option whenever May runs out of gas. So that's what T1, PRX, or even other regions really utilize whenever a star player or even their top fragger really goes out of their own system. Two
Yeah,
things.
that's so scary. Like just seeing the fact that there is like a tendency for May to like overheat or burn out. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Hopefully.
So
Hopefully.
there's this certain time pressure that they have to take into account in doing those types of stuff because they really have to step up as early as possible. But at the same time, I don't know, there's pressure, but not too much pressure since it's just the start for them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanna divert like the topic into like another team that's running out of time.
Oh.
Or I would like to say bleeding out of time.
Yes, my
I
Yeah.
boy.
mean, I don't know, boys. Okay, let's talk about bleed, right?
Let's
Alright,
talk
let's
about
talk
bleed.
about bleed.
Mhm,
Talk about bleed right
mhm.
here.
I
So,
kinda want wait one sec. I wanna step out of
mhm.
this conversation for a sec because my heart hurts. My heart
Don't worry, Dado. You're not
Yes.
gonna get called out.
hurts.
I assure you, you're not gonna get called out.
No, I don't
Or
believe you. I don't believe you.
unless you had like a prediction for bleed last week,
Did
which
I? No,
I
let's
don't
not
actually
let's not roll it
remember.
Let
back.
the
Let's not roll
record
it back.
show, Your Honor. I'm
Let
pretty
the
sure
record
we
show.
had our predictions last week.
Right. So
Okay.
Bleed had two matches last week against RRQ and Zeta Division. Um, where RRQ was a 0-2,
Mm-hmm.
but the series against Zeta Division was a 1-2.
Wow, they
And
lost,
I
but
think
they lost
most
a little less bad.
Whoa!
they were able to win a match. I mean, they have done before, but like I think specifically in the match against was it Zeta?
Yeah, Zeta.
We had a pretty good performance specifically on Ascent. Uh, I I think we can actually switch over to VLR here. Kim, if you can switch it over. Where we had a 13-9 win on Ascent, and you saw it wasn't just Ye, it was Zest as well. Was really picking up the slack. Zest, when he's on his home ground, he's on his favorite agent, he's on Sova, and Ye looking kind of like how he did back in Optic, right? He
Yeah.
got two
Yeah.
aces, playing absolutely insane, right? And they were the information from Zest was great because they had they had these lineups that were really crucial to taking space. They were opening up the opportunity to wall bang into the heads of the people on the side of Zeta Division, and they look really good on a set.
On a set.
Now the question is, how do you
Honest.
convert that over to the rest of the map pool? Because you have six more maps, bro. Six more. Hey, let's actually take a look. The last series that they won a map was also against. They won a map against Talon. They won a map against Global, and the map that they won against Talon was Lotus, actually. So at least now that there's two maps that they look good, or not look good, but look decent. And I think Ascent, they actually did look good, right? So
Mm-hmm.
something's missing in the water. Maybe we could blame that on the fact that I think Bleed signed Zest. Was it after kickoff?
After
Yeah,
kickoff.
after
Right? And
kickoff.
then they signed Jay just before kickoff. So they are running out of precious time because I don't know who called it, right? If you're gonna change your roster a week or a week before the first event of the year, then there's something wrong with you because we've seen it before. Sentinels 2023. They lost almost everything because they kept changing the roster around, right? You had Marv, you had Def, you even changed coaches, and that was for
Yep.
Sentinels, right? But at least Bleed, they seem to be sticking to this roster, and I think maybe there's hope for Split 2, but in Split 1, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
If
know.
I'm, I don't know. It's kind of like there's hope for them, but they need to make changes. Okay,
Yeah.
they need to make changes in form of one person. I'm looking at this Zeta map right now. Map one, Sunset is 913 loss. Okay, look who's on the bottom of the scoreboard. Why is this flag American? Oh, that's CA. 914. We go to Ascent. Oh yeah, they won Ascent. They're like the meme
Wow.
where the guy was celebrating with champagne and biting on his medal, but he's only bronze, right? I know you guys know that meme. And then the
Yeah.
Golden Silver Star, okay, you're not winning yet, right? It's a 1-1. And then we go to Lotus, where they lost. Yes,
Who's
they
the
won on
bottom person
Lotus.
again?
Who's the bottom person? It's Darion, and then right after. Actually, technically, in terms of kills, it's CA. He
Yeah,
has
in
9
this
Yes,
case.
but
kill.
look at the
And
ACS as
but
well.
the
He's
ACS as well. It's just the rating that boosted him because he's the duelist. I mean, even the VLR is boosting him. I mean, even the whole team is boosting him because Ascent, you have Singaporeans, you have Thai people, you have a Korean, all of those regions, all
It's
of those
the APAC map,
nationalities.
bro.
It's the
yeah.
APAC map. They were born in those maps. They started drinking milk in those maps, right? So I don't know. This team, if they want a more cohesive roster, they need to have a more cohesive environment. And
Yeah.
what do I mean by that? They have to have someone that doesn't really deviate from the play style that APAC knows. They have to make a duelist that knows how to play APAC style, that can still keep up with the meta and can still play Raze, right?
Yeah.
They need to play Raze. His two bottom maps were Raze. He's
Yeah.
only good on Jet
Yeah.
and Chamber.
And
Technically on
Chamber.
Chamber.
Actually,
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's the
surprised they didn't
problem.
the
put him on
days,
Chamber
man.
for
Those
Lotus.
were the days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
it's either changing him on making him play Chamber on those maps where he's supposed to be playing Raze and then just hamstring the whole team by playing Chamber, basically, which is kind of bad. Or just
Yeah.
benching him. Find the six, find the random tie that Scary knows and make him play Raze. Something
I
like that.
I I 100% agree with you, Al. I was about to bring that up. Ye is kind of like in limbo right now. He's kind of pulling a Jesse Vash at the moment. If he's not on Jet, he's going to look absolutely horrendous. And just the last series alone is perfect example of that. He's the only one who's got single digit kills in Lotus, and in Sunset, same thing. He was at the bottom of the scoreboard here, bottom in terms of kills, and he looked really good in Ascent, which is crazy to me because if you take a look at that game in particular, Ye looked like Ye. But if you
He
look at
looks like
Sunset
Ye,
and
not
Lotus,
Yoi, right?
yeah, these games are like 15 minutes apart, and he looked like dog water. I think Ye is, yeah, he I don't know what he needs, but Bleed needs something else. They cannot do with this right now. I mean, it's crazy as well to think that the best performing player that they have on the roster is a player that they signed the most recently. Zest has been really consistent in their recent games, and then their probably most expensive player is the one that's performing the worst. Blade needs a big adjustment. I mean, I think it starts with Ye as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they don't
Mm.
fix that problem, they're just gonna be their VLR match history is gonna look a lot like their logo. Just saying. I know I think my camera's not in the
To be fair,
podcast
it
right now
already
because I'm
does.
It's
ranting.
on point with roasting teams,
Yeah.
I swear.
It already does, though.
So bleed very, I don't know, man. I really don't know how to describe the certain environment they're living
I
in right
can't
now.
I can't think of a word too. We're on the same
Yeah,
Like
so
boat.
how?
because it's so mixed up in a way that I do think they're trying to force it themselves that guys, we still have to play. But that's kind of like the bad thing they're inhaling. It's the mentality that we still have to play. Even though we're struggling to be united as a team, we still have to play. And that's what differs them from all of the teams that are way like echelons above them. So we all expected Yay to have like a huge platform where we can look at him in a way that we look like Forsaken, probably something, those top fraggers. But Yay is still in a contest where who could probably be the least surprising player in all of APAC. So I really do hope that Ye finds it together in himself and the whole Bleed organization. That if this is like the result of kickoff, and now we all of us are already losing hope at just like the first 2-3 weeks of APAC. There has to be like a major adjustment, right? Like a lot of teams really do
Mm.
tend to change it up a little when their own organizations or teams play at a pace like this. But when you have very questionable calls, questionable drafts, you have Ye picking different agents. You tend to put Ye in a position where he doesn't want to, but he is forced to because of the environment. Yeah, Bleed needs to go back and try to pause for a bit. Think of the ways that you could probably put Ye. That's what Optic did for Ye. They had a roster built perfectly for Ye, and they really had a good cohesive environment wherein he could enjoy playing individually, but at the same
Mm.
time, when Ye tries to step back a little, you have a whole roster that could depend in trying to pick up the slack.
Exactly.
So I do hope that Bleed really does carry on the glory days of what we had from the Optic, or even like that last itty bit of glory he had in C9, and try to push it a little bit here at
Oh,
Bleed,
dude.
because
C9.
probably Bleed needs a rally, a wake up call, or probably a coach of a caliber like Alex. Alex runs a tight ship. So coaching wise, Bleed needs a very good commanding coach. IGL as well, the one that could put Ye in a position where he's gonna go wild on the opponents. So all of that, probably Bleed could have a good hope placing third, but that's just a sick dream that we are all still awaiting
Yeah,
for.
dude, it's the middle of the season. They're not gonna drop the entire team except Ye and pull a tens, right? I mean, if there was a time to do that, it'd be off season. But we're in the
Mm.
middle of the season right now. You can't drop three players. You can't. I mean, you know, we'll even dial it back, right? What did they do? They dropped their IGL before the
Oh
start
yeah.
of the season, bro. What? The IGL who led you to win Ascension was dropped again. I think we mentioned this last
Yeah.
week, and I think that's the start of it, right? Maybe maybe
Mm.
things would be a little bit different. Maybe Ye would
That's
even work
already a
better.
bad sign, yeah.
Yeah, right. I think who's IGLing right now for Believe? Is it Scary?
Has to
And
be.
Scary wasn't the IGL last season, so now he has to pick up a new role. And I mean, not it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be bad, but he's going to be adjusting.
He has to adjust ASAP. But as what from what we're seeing right now, I feel like that's not happening. Like all these players are so pressured, they're so lost on what they should do next, because I'm not even sure if there is like a lot of plans that they have been able to do
Oh gosh.
before even starting the
Oh,
season, because like these players, they're just trying their best. And at this point, they
Yoy.
are quite unsure of what they should do. That's why they're trying doing stuff that they have never even done before. I just really hope that they get more enough time before even putting them into a war like this one, because right now they look pretty unarmed. They don't have the necessary arsenal that they should have right now in this type of a tournament, which is pretty big as we may see. And at the same time, my fear is this might actually affect it. Like, hopefully they can cool down during the off season, but this might affect how they can view each other as a player, as a teammate. I really hope that there's this fear that there might be a chance that they can view each other as oil and water and they might not mix that well. If that makes sense, hopefully not. But
Oh
yeah,
wow.
looking out for more between these players. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if they had enough time,
I
not
think
when everything's are hell's breaking loose at the moment.
I think they should just drop Yay. I think they just
That's the
drop
first
Yay.
thing I'm gonna do if I
Yeah,
was their coach.
yeah,
Right,
just
yeah,
drop
go take a
Yay.
break vacation.
Find someone else. I mean, there's
Yeah,
a
dude,
ton
like
of talent in
Ye needs
NYSG.
to, inhale some Korea air for a moment and not inhale like the air coming out of his system, PC, some sort like that. But some reigniting of the passion one that Ye once had probably could put Bleed on a less pressuring position, but that's still going to be like a band-aid to the whole Bleed problem right now. So
Yeah,
uh it's the days where I just watch a lot of highlights, and a lot of orgs actually use Ye as an example of what it means to be a fundamentally sound Valorant player.
I
And
mean,
right
he
now,
is.
just looking at it, he is still. But when you're gonna put him in an impression that you have to play like this, it's no longer going to be like we're no longer going to see that fundamentally sound player that EA once is. If I'm the coach, I'm so okay putting EA Jet in 3 maps. So if I'm gonna put Ye on Viper or even Raze, that really is a questionable tactic that EA is getting damaged at. But at the same time, I don't kind of blame him. But either way, putting Ye in a spot where he is supposed to shine, because I do think his playstyle really coexist really well in terms of how the APAC plays out their own Valorant. Ye is supposed to be that man that really could be the new benchmark for APAC or even Bleed in his own organization as well. But
mm,
seeing at it right now,
Long
really
way
is
to
a
go.
I think also that Bleed are trying to play the meta too much, right? You're forcing your players to play something that they're not comfortable on. Maybe you can force it on them in off season, but not during the season, because you're already introducing changes upon changes upon changes, and like even on a race map, say put A on Chamber and Lotus, maybe then we'd win.
They have to give their players a break,
Yeah.
dude. They're so,
I
you
wanna go on
know.
a tangent here a bit. I think the reason why Bleed is so nerfed
bad.
right now. I did not say that. Didn't said that. Okay. I think the reason they're so nerfed right now is because right we tackled this in the past few weeks. Right. They got rid of Juicy. They got rid of Neff. They got rid of their core players back when they were in their ascension run. And the other thing that we haven't really talked about is that there's no pearl in the map pool. I think that's the
Uh,
number one
Um,
thing. Like I just took
that's
a big
also a
sip of
factor.
coffee, like like that. Oh wow, wait. It's I think it's going to be the pearl
Paano ulit,
thing.
El, isa pa.
Paano,
I'm
paano,
not gonna
paano?
do that for
Paano,
you.
one
Again?
more, one more.
Wait, I'm
No!
gonna do that. I'm
Wait,
gonna do that later
wait,
again. When I'm
let it be
wait,
mentioned.
wait. I'm gonna do it again
poking. I'm
later
poking. I'm poking.
when I go on a tangent. There's other topics I'm gonna go on tangents, but I'm gonna do it again later. You're gonna have to wait for it, right? You're gonna have to wait for it. But yeah, I think it's the map pool that kind of hinders them a bit. You see a lot of more of raise players popping off rampant, right? The Jet's just there chilling, holding a knob, just sipping his coffee like that. and then it's going to be chill for Jet. I think the problem with Bleed is that they lack a raise player.
Are we
Yes,
back?
Ye is
Okay.
trying raise, but the problem is he's not a true raise player. And other than that, the Pearl is gone. Until it comes back, Bleed is gonna be winning champions. If it comes back, Bleed is gonna win champions. I quote me on that. If it comes
I
back.
And this
I
is for you guys who don't know who L is, right? This guy was also in Ascension, right? This guy was
mhm.
Yeah.
was an analyst for Naos who were arguably one of the favorites to win Ascension.
I
So
mean,
I
honestly, if it was down to Bleed and now in the finals, I won't be here, guys. See ya.
this guy would be in Korea if things went this way. I remember sitting there watching Naos get Naos when that it was the the agent pick fiasco, which went really weird. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, fun times.
For
we were
memory.
sitting we were sitting in the Naos office watch party thinking, what are they cooking? What is this agent comp
And
on?
then
Was it
apparently
I would only think of that comp if I was cooked. We were in Thailand. You know what cook I'm talking about, right?
okay, okay. Okay.
If I was cooked, I would pick that roster. Lock it in, guys. I have this down to the T. But nah, that was like a whole thing. And,
As
we can
El
talk
was
about it. We can talk about it some other time.
El was gonna sawadika that crap, bro.
I think dude, man, I can't wait for challengers to come back. We need challengers back so we have more to talk about. But I mean, we're as you can see, we're still able to cook in VCT Pacific. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I
I think
wanna. I wait,
what
wait,
do
wait.
you
One second,
wanna?
Josh. One second. I
Yeah,
wanna
go ahead.
double down. I wanna double down on Josh's Mochi's argument earlier because I think Bleed would be better off if they just put EA on his comfortable agents. I mean, if you take
Yeah,
a look at their game against
Yeah.
Zeta, 2 out of the 3 games, Zeta played Chamber on last. I mean, imagine if it was Yay on Chamber instead. They would have. I mean,
Last versus CA.
I
Oh my
wanted.
god.
Dude, I would have wanted to see that the chamber battle between
yeah.
Laz and Yay.
Mm.
That would have been insane. But they
yeah, I
didn't give it to us. I'm mad.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bleed would be way better off with Ye on either Chamber or Jet. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be winning Pacific, but I think they'd have more success at least if they put Ye on his comfortable agents.
Yeah, I wonder. I really do want to ask a question because I
Mhm.
really, I really honestly don't know the answer to this. Like, what's stopping Yay from playing Chamber? If they have like a map pool that is basically a good side of playing Chamber,
If,
have them picking Lotus, you have them picking Sunset. Is it are they trying to really maximize Cypher right now, or is it because they don't want to run double Sentinel? So can you like dial down on me on this one, guys? Because
Okay,
I really
okay.
I really see the success of other teams
okay,
playing
L.
Chamber,
Okay.
and they still are doing great. So what's stopping you from playing
This is
Chamber?
the
Okay, here
analyst's
comes the
job.
professional opinion with
There
the
you
hot
go.
tip.
He's gonna sip some
Sit
coffee.
down, ladies
Reason.
and
Where's the
gentlemen, and
sounds? There's
listen.
those wait. There's those coffee sounds. There
I
you go. I love
didn't
okay.
have sounds earlier. No, it did not have sounds earlier. Anyways, I think the answer that Salvatore is looking at here is that Chamber's too weak if you don't have a team that can play around a Chamber, right? Yes, you see
True,
Zeta
yeah.
Division. They're playing Chamber because they have a Viper. On this one, Lotus, right? They have Viper, they have Gecko, they have a Neon. I don't know who plays Neon on Lotus, but it's kind of good for them because that basically means that on the defense, right? The defense is where it's lacking for Chamber. You don't need those traps, those strip bars, what is that? I'm dead, right? You don't really have that in terms of Chamber. You just have a trip that's looking at you and you're slowed. Basically, a glorified Sage slow. So if you have a Neon, you can have stopping power, you have stun, you have the mollies from the Viper, you have the wall, everything is covered. That's why they have the chamber for Laz that he's able to play. Problem is, we talked about this earlier, right? Bleed is too focused on the meta. We need to play this, we need to play that.
Yeah.
They're so focused on the meta
Yeah.
that they cannot worry about what if we just put Yay on chamber and just build it
Comfort
around him,
over
right?
meta, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you've
Always.
seen that in Sunset for Zeta. They played Phoenix of all things in Sunset, and it worked. It's because they know how to play a chamber player
Yeah.
in his comfort zone, and the thing is, Bleed cannot, right? They don't have the players to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was an optic, It's fine. Ye can do that. FNS can cook something. Chet can cook something, but it's not right. It's going to be his
Yeah.
team. He has to work with what he has. And harsh as it may sound, it's not working for them on this side. But maybe if the grass is greener on the other side, they would try.
They're
But
nerfing their own
yeah,
player.
it's hard, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
I think the short version of that answer is someone's telling Ye to not play Chamber. Someone
Yeah.
someone in Bleed is telling him to not play
Probably,
Chamber or
probably,
Jet.
if the coach happens to plan out a map where someone has to play chamber, his first player in mind gotta be Darion. Darion needs to play chamber.
Nah.
Doesn't
No,
have
no,
to be a
no, the what do you call this conspiracy theory? Bleed gave him an APAC account with every agent unlocked except Chamber.
except chamber.
What
No,
did I
no, no,
walk into?
it's locked. It's very locked. It says in the contract he can't play Chamber. He signed on that. That's addendum. Paragraph B, sentence C. Article number 3, something like that. It's so funny how he cannot play Chamber. But yeah, I think that's mostly the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so enlightened by that.
I think we've talked enough about problems. Let's talk about possibilities for now.
For
You
Bleed?
guys, no. This not for bleed, right?
Let's talk about possibilities.
Okay.
Possibilities.
Clove is now available in
Oh,
week
yes.
3 of VCT. Who do you think is gonna pick up Clove?
P.
Alright,
What
go
map?
ahead, boys and girls. I'm gonna
What
cook later.
teams? Like, yeah,
We're,
what map?
we
What
are going to
teams?
start
Which
cooking
players?
so that L could silently roast us, you know? That's why he wants us to start.
I want to hear Dadom's thoughts.
Well, of course. Okay, since I'm going first, and I'm gonna state the obvious: Paper X, bro. I mean, there's literally no one else that embodies a playstyle like Clove that I think Paper X does. I mean, sure, it's not always the aggressive playstyle that they opt for their controller, but hey, I think if there's any team that resonates the way a Clove is supposed to be played, it's Paper X. It's my
Yeah.
Couldn't
team.
agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't. Has to be like a very set in stone, engraved sort of mindset whenever you try to look at Clove's kit. It fits really well on a player like Something who really plays Reina on a good pace, but I don't really see Something play a good amount of Clove, probably because of the
Recently.
smoking responsibilities.
Honestly,
So might as well just try to give that to another person, probably Mind
For s-
Freak.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
or
for
it has to be
He's their
Forsaken.
controller after all, you know.
Yeah.
So
So if Forsaken can happen to juggle so many roles, can play Initiator, Sentinel, and Duelist, I really see like Forsaken frag out on Clove, who I hope he doesn't forget to smoke after he dies though, because I do think Forsaken has that sort of tendency where he overheats and then forgets to, and then he just tends to forget what the heck is happening. But to jump out, probably to name another team that besides PRX, looking at it, probably like the benchmark teams could play a good amount of Clove, mainly T1, PRX, or even DRX. But I really do think Scary individually plays really well on controller. So he happens to have a good amount of knowledge playing a set of a role wherein you could anchor a site and as well as take over a post plant. And Clove does that really well. So if you have a very aggressive start of a momentum of a player like Scary, and when it's post plant time, you have a very calm and collective player that plays around the time pretty well. Scary really plays a good could play a good Clove. So Bleed, as much as we trashed Bleed on like a while ago, the only thing I could come up the only good that can amount Clove getting released in week 3 is hopefully Scary picking it.
dude, hear me out. What if Karon from Genji?
Ah,
Karen?
Oh,
chef's kiss.
Diba?
That would be
It's
it.
would,
Yeah.
it would be nice, you know? Like, Karan's been so aggressive, so on point, but at the same time knows how to capitalize on the skills of the agent controllers that he uses. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Karan might also be a good person to expect use Clove, but I wonder if they can integrate that to their team already. Though I think it wouldn't be a problem because it's Genji, you know.
Yeah. Although to be fair, like I think people aren't gonna use them immediately. Maybe
Yeah, they
later
won't, I
down,
think.
because like it's the middle of the season. Maybe they're trying to cook in scrims first, then perhaps in playoffs. But I don't see anyone using Clove early on. Possibly not this week, unless they've already been given the time to cook. And the only teams that I feel like have had the time to cook or have the at least the confidence to start experimenting versus putting together a playbook are those teams that already have a playbook. Gen G, DRX, uh, Paper X, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have another team that I think is gonna use
Okay.
Clove.
Pray
You ready for
tell.
this?
Okay.
Hmm.
This is
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
be a somewhat spicy thing. I think DFM is gonna work well with a Clove because
Mm.
Medusa has been
Oh.
a pretty
Okay,
consistent
okay, okay,
performer.
okay. I
I
see.
mean, listen. Pause. Right, pause. I mean, I mean, I mean, hear me out. Hear me out. I mean, we talk about
Okay.
May so much, right? And I think it overshadows the performance of the rest of the squad here. But if you take a look at the numbers deeper here, if May is not performing well, or if May is doing May things, that the second one that usually
Yeah, it's
is
always
under the scoreboard here
Medusa.
is usually Medusa,
Medusa.
right? And I think Medusa is
Mm-hmm.
gonna fare a lot better if he was put on an aggressive role. I mean, typically he plays Viper, really good at it, really high clutch potential. But I think putting him in a more of a front seat position in a form of a globe could work for DFM.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
you guys are missing. It's not just a team that's gonna be playing Clove. If it was okay, let me just rephrase the question. Right? I
Mm.
don't think personally. I don't think Clove's viable in professional play. But if they, excuse me, if they were viable in professional play, it's not just a team that's gonna be picking up. It's a whole region, and that's China. You know how crazy those
Oh
dudes
God.
are. Shout out to my Jungren friends. They are so crazy that they're just gonna run in. They're just gonna try everything.
Changwon.
They're just going to be very aggressive, and that I mean, there's a lot of Chinese players that are hard to kill once. Imagine trying to kill them twice, right? I can already think of the comp: Sage, Clove, Phoenix,
Phoenix.
and then
Phoenix.
and then I think ISO would work. Imagine one of your friend gets or one of your friends get kidnapped by ISO. You have to kill Clove twice. If that's not enough, you have to kill Clove thrice with the revive, and then you
That's
have to
too
kill the
much.
Phoenix again, right? So how do you beat with like 9 lives, right? I
Oh
that's
gosh, that'll be
so
so funny.
that's so
That's so
Oh
hard to
cool
man,
do,
too,
right?
though.
So
that's
yeah,
so
but I
cool.
think going back to like the APAC style, I think yeah, Paper X would be the one thinking of Clove because they already have the Sage in play with Sunset, right?
Mm-mm.
And then they know they can play ISO as well. There's just aim labs for like Jing or maybe Forsaken. So if they run that, technically it's going to be a nerf to them because Clove's kit is so bad in terms of professional play. But if they
Yeah,
manage to run that and win, oh my god, it's going to be the
Pretty
new
crazy.
trend.
Yeah.
Gonna be
yeah.
crazy.
I think
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be insane.
yeah. It's gonna be hard to execute though, but still, it's
If
worth
it
a
works,
shot,
it
right?
works.
I mean, if you see it in Shanghai, maybe who knows, right?
Side note, so if you guys remember, I tweeted and chatted you guys a couple of weeks ago. I said if DFM win a series, that
Mm-hmm.
series in particular against T1, I said I'd color my hair blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have the blue dye here today.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Oh.
as we're talking, you guys are gonna see me actually brushing my hair with the blue stuff, just so you guys know, because maybe you're gonna wonder what the hell's going on in my frame. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I think Clove specifically not very viable in at least in the way that APAC plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not EMEA, definitely not the Americas. Maybe one or two teams in APAC try, but I expect China to try.
Yeah, I mean,
We've been
technically, it's
seeing weird comps in China, man. We
yeah,
saw, I think the first time we saw Deadlock in Pro Play was also in China,
yeah.
and
It was in China,
Oh god,
and like
yeah.
China
his data
just come
comp.
up with these crazy comps that you wouldn't have thought of even
It
in rank.
somehow works out, though. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, it somehow works
that's the
out.
crazy thing.
And then we're gonna see 3 teams in for Shanghai, right? Three Chinese
Three
Yeah.
teams in
teams per
Shanghai.
region, yeah, and then
Oh,
four
that's
I,
gonna be crazy.
champions.
so when we thought that 2 was already enough, prepare for like 3 Chinese teams trying to out mental you on a drafting phase. Imagine getting a deadlock and a clove at the same team. Oh yeah, so
Oh,
I'm
imagine
really,
that would be
I'm really so excited on
It
this
would be
upcoming Shanghai.
glorious.
It will
It would
be
be
it will be
glorious.
such a drama slash paparazzi of a coverage, not for only us, but to whole organizations that's going to milk out of China's really weird
Yeah.
drafting scheme.
Yeah, imagine like the compositions like Deadlock, ISO, Sage, Clove, Phoenix. It's
Oh
three on
boy.
it's 3v9 because they have 5 lives, right? And then there's technically 8, right? There's 8. So 3v8 technically. You get the ults from ISO and Deadlock, and then you get the revives from like Sage, Phoenix, and Clove. So I don't know how you counter that, but I want to see that happen. Someone has to try it for the memes, right?
it's
Yeah.
it's definitely gonna happen at some point in time, and it'll be so funny. It'll be glorious, even in my opinion. I'm gonna have to take off my glasses while I do this. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's essentially it for Clove, at least for now, right? Unless they decide to like play around with Clove a little bit more, change things
Mm-hmm.
up, try and what's the word, revamp how Clove works. But Clove is so fun as it is right now that I wouldn't be surprised that they actually don't, or if they do, it'd be a very minimal change.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, very minimal change indeed. Because he's fun in they're fun in rank, excuse me, they're fun in ranked. But are they fun in competitive play? Not yet. I want to see a
Not
world
yet.
where it is, right? But yeah, that's pretty much solves like the Clove window. It's kind of like, nah, maybe we don't know yet,
Maybe,
but
maybe not. I don't know. We'll see, right?
so
I
we
could
we
ima-
really want to see it.
I could imagine seeing Clove in competitive. Maybe if they bumped up the duration of Clove's overheal, maybe there's a bigger chance. Because I think it,
Yeah.
it just lasts a little too short, the overheal duration. But hey, if
And
I
it's
think
not
if
an
if they
overshield, right? It's actually armor, not like
Yeah,
how
it's an armor.
It's
how
technically
Reina
armor.
yeah,
overheal works.
Because it goes away for some time. And you don't, like, example, you're 50 health, you kill one person,
still
and
50
then you
health.
overheal, and then it ends the duration. It's still 50 health. It's not overheal. It's technically like an armor. Yeah, wash the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, something like that. Or I sound such a coach, honestly. Sometimes.
I mean, that's it.
I mean,
It's
you
it's
are.
just
Yeah, I
it's
am,
something
right?
that doesn't go away, right? It's the same for me. Like when I talk about dance, I sound like a freaking coach. But anyway, moving on. I'm
Moving
really
on.
proud of this, guys, because over the week
Here we go.
we've put in some new tech in our stream. So we're gonna be moving on to the usual. If for this week, match predictions, right? So we do have some new overlays that have been cooking, right? Kim, take it away. Our first match is Gen G versus DRX.
Oh,
And of
crap.
course,
Let
the big
me.
reveal, we don't
Oh,
need to bring out our phones anymore,
oh yeah.
right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh
I'm
wow.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm
I
gonna wait
forgot.
for Kim. Whenever you're ready to unveil our new overlays, our new animations, there it is.
Oh, I
So
like this. Let's
this
see.
match, Gen G versus DRX. And the predictions are, drumroll please.
Ta-da! Someone take climactic. Ta-da!
We're just sitting here like,
I can't see it yet.
And
Ten,
naming it
ten,
now.
ten, ten, ten,
And
ten,
naming
ten,
it
ten,
now.
ten.
it's okay. We're waiting for the logo.
Yay!
As with any new technology, it has to be
Oh my
tested out. It has to
god.
be fixed
Oh
first.
my god.
Oh my god.
Someone,
Someone gone for DRX, huh?
someone is in need of an explanation.
Okay, hear me out.
This is interesting, L. This is interesting.
Hear me out.
Hmm.
I'm gonna need to cook big here. Wait.
Here you go.
Sips coffee.
Let the
Alright.
master.
You
keep up.
will need to cook, bro.
There we go.
Alright. So
Okay.
DRX. Let's look at them, right? Let's look at them from I sound so much like Bren right now from Plat
That's a
Chat.
good
Anyways,
thing. That's a good thing.
look at her now, right?
It's a
So
good
Alpha
thing.
Group Alpha Genji 2-1 fair. Who did they lose to? It's PRX, right? DRX, who are they facing? It's Genji. So from what I know of these two teams is that DRX and Genji, they're practically friends. They grew up from childhood. Their coaches know their coaches. Basically, like they're all friends in one big circle. And if they know one thing better, and if they do one thing better than all the other teams, is that they can anti-strat each other. So it's a
Yes.
matter of how and who reads who better. So for this time around, Genji, they've been a solid stack for like 5 months together now, ever since the season, ever since Caron got in. Yes, they almost won Madrid, but sadly lost to Sentinels. And they've been garnering some losses here, right? They have lost 2 maps, and DRX has only lost 1 map. So it's going to be a thing of where are we going to be looking at as imagine if you're the coaches for these two teams. What area are we going to be looking at? Is it the positives or is it the negatives, right? Because if you're looking at the positives of a team and it's too much, for example, DRX is always winning right now and they're on the win. It's too much positives. We need to look at the negatives. Maybe they have weaknesses. And then you see their weaknesses, it's too little. So why I voted for DRX is because they're just too strong. They only drop 1 map, and if you're trying to counter strat against them, you don't have anything because whatever works for them keeps on working and hasn't been a solution hasn't been found by 3 teams. Take note, 3 teams hasn't found a solution. While Genji, well, yes, they lost, but it's a matter of how did they lose, right? So let's look at how did they lose. They lost against Paper Rex and they lost quite close, which gives DRX, not Paper X, DRX a lot of rounds to look at and pinpoint what can we play against them. And with this new addition of Bane,
Bane.
yeah, of Bane, then DRX the unknown factor, right? So I'm going to vote, or I have voted for DRX because I just think right now their form is better, and they can
Wow.
regain their what they call the status of being the kings of Korea again, away from Genji.
Wow, that's a very bold prediction, but I could see it happening. I could see
Mm-hmm.
DRX definitely beating Genji. I mean, you talk about the close ecosystem that Korean teams have, and this is something we see a lot of, not just in Valorant as well. I mean, we see it in League of Legends, in the LCL, the LCK.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect example of this is the LCL in China, right? Every
Mm.
team they send out a different roster in Worlds, and each time they look so good. These are players that we may never have heard of, but they have the same caliber of teams who's been playing for years and years on end. And I could definitely see that happening here. I mean, not to say DRX is a new team. DRX have been the kings of Korea for a long time. Only this
The
year have they
longest time,
been
bro.
dethroned by Gen G. So I could definitely see DRX having a chance of beating Genji, but to say that they are at a better form than Genji right now, it's something that I can't say for sure yet. It's something that I don't think I can get on board yet. So I'm predicting Genji for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not gonna lie, from what Elle said, it made me want to convert because I remember like last Pacific kickoff, which is like February, right?
Mm,
The end of February.
Yep.
DRX won, or rather lost against Genji
zero
there.
two, yeah.
But that might also be like a good drive for them to like, for
Revenge
a
arc.
comeback and go for a revenge arc.
Oh,
So, uh, but it's still gonna put my, my tokens or my effects on Genji. Yeah.
fair, fair.
Good
How
point.
about you,
Good point.
Salva?
Yeah,
Yeah, what are your thoughts,
so
Salva?
well, it is still set in stone for me that Genji is indeed the strongest APAC team right now, considering
Okay,
how
that's
how they
okay.
carry over so much
They
from the
are
kickoff.
though,
Okay.
aren't
Well,
they?
I I'm
aren't
not
they?
taking that from a
Yeah, they
global
are.
merchant. I'm not I'm not taking that from a
I knew
GE
this was gonna
merchant.
come back.
I
I know
don't
that was
know.
gonna
I don't
come
know if they're
back.
the strongest team right now. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Team strongest team in APAC.
I mean, I
know,
did
yeah,
say APAC,
exactly.
not globally.
I
Not to,
know,
Yeah.
not
but
not to say I'm a global esports fan, but
but you are. But you are. Let's get one thing straight.
hey,
Listen,
hey,
Salvatore, I'm
yeah,
guilty of this too. I love Bleed, you love Global. That's just the way the world works.
but yeah, going back, Genji. I'm trying to ease everyone's emotions right now, but Genji really does carry over a lot from kickoff to Madrid and still over to split one, and that is how will they play around a specific strat that they will try to adjust to the multitude of teams that APAC has right now. They have like a specific they have a specific set of plays catered to a specific team. And that's what Genji has been doing since the start of Madrid. So looking at DRX right now, considering that they just inserted Bane, the integration has been flawless. Very very nice actually in my opinion. But Genji's consistency and their own motion of gameplay could counteract DRX's ability to try and utilize new means and ways of countering Genji. Because I do think because I do think DRX will try to play out something different than their normal or usual when tackling a team like Genji. So it's probably going to be a 2-0, or if there's going to be such a downgrade performance to, like, let's say Meteor or Caron, 2-1, but at best they would still win the series.
Okay, I like it.
I think it'll be close. Yeah, I do agree it's gonna be close. I think our doubt in Bane in week one, right before it started,
It's gone.
it's been thrown out the window, right? Because we saw DRX perform really well the first 2 weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if DRX win. It's more of a 55-65 to me between Genji and DRX, but I still put the 65 on Genji for now. But again, like it's definitely gonna be close. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2-1, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2-0 with really close score lines as well.
Okay. Okay, shall we go to the next one?
Yeah,
Oh, next
moving on.
one.
Mm.
So
Waiting
what?
for
I
the
don't, I
tech
don't remember what I
next.
predicted here. I don't remember.
I really
Well,
don't know what's the next
if
match.
if, if you don't remember, then you're
Is it
gonna be reminded. So this is where the tech comes in. Lead versus DFM, and of course,
Ah,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
their
Oh
deal
my
the
god.
stoppable
El
force
El
versus
stoppable
the
Clásico.
force
movable object.
versus
That's what it is.
the
El
movable object.
Clásico. This is like
Oh
a
gosh.
Pacquiao-esque matchup.
I want to see
Yeah,
this. I want to see this.
I
Come
Yeah,
want
on.
to
today
see.
we wait.
I am sorry in
I am
advance.
so excited by the fact that we are going to defend our
Can I
answers.
change my prediction? Can I change my prediction?
No, I
Well,
Mike, you
can't.
oh
have the
Matt.
hot seat now, buddy. Come
Can
on.
I change my prediction?
Defend your import. Defend your import. I dare you. Defend him.
Listen,
Come
listen. At
on.
this,
Be his lawyer right now. Be his lawyer.
listen. Here's the thing, right? I was talking about this earlier. If they just put Bleed on whatever he wants to play, I think they have a shot. I mean, DFM, not to discredit DFM, they've been having a fantastic couple of series. I mean, sure they lost, but they beat T1, a team that is geared for. We predicted T1 to be like third for Pacific in general, right? DFM looks pretty good. I'm gonna give him that. But if Bleed just put Yay in a comfortable position, like it's like giving Jesse Vash his Sova. Just do it. Just do it. And you have a better chance. Like if
what,
Bleed's
what
gonna
is
win
that
against DFM,
comparison?
if they give him Jet or
It's a fair,
Timber.
it's fair. Wait. I'm gonna defend Matt for that sentence, not for his prediction, right?
Okay.
But I want his comfort agents, man. If
Yeah.
it works, like if they have belief in Yay, right? They, they made Ye move from the Americas all the way to Korea here. And that means they're paying him a bag. If you're paying this person that much money, you need to build around that person,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
right?
listen to
But
him.
until
Let
we
him
see
play
them
whatever
start
he
building a
wants.
comp around Ye, I don't believe in
Okay,
Bleed. But
okay.
here I am, DFM.
Counterpoint. Counterpoint.
Okay.
You're basing your defense of your prediction on an if, right? It's like going into court and saying, Your Honor, my client said no. And then right, it doesn't stand up in court, right? So if we're gonna be looking at
This
the facts
guy.
here, if we're gonna be looking at the facts here, May
I love that
thrashes
so much.
on Yay, right? It May trashes on Yay. Wow, it rhymes. But in terms of like their trajectory right now, player wise, head to head, Yay just kneels down. He just falls over. Especially with the fact that May can play Raze, right? That's the thing. So if, however, by whatever chance that DFM gets to pick or ban out the jet maps, and then I think DFM wins this. But if we're gonna believe your, if they make him play Chamber, right? That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Even if they
Listen,
make him play
it's
Chamber, the rest of the team cannot play around Chamber.
that's what
We
we're playing. That's listen, and that's what we're predicting. We don't know what's gonna happen, bro. We don't know. That's why if
Dude, pause. I mean, both of these teams, which one plays at their comfort? Sige. Which one plays
What?
at their comfort
Oh,
right
that's
now?
a-
I
that's-
mean,
you
there's
asking
like,
me?
yeah, you.
Dear fam.
the sigh of defeat.
he knew. He knew then and there.
Yeah,
bro.
he knew. He knew.
You cannot.
Yeah.
You're a bad lawyer. You're a bad lawyer. You cannot defend.
Listen, it's a prediction, not a trial. L, come on. This is my respect my prediction, okay?
Hey, L runs a tight
Okay.
ship on analysis and prediction, man. You gotta live up to the standard, man.
This ain't a defense. It's a prediction. That's it. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay, sir. Okay, you're just shying away
Okay,
from
yeah,
the.
I don't think anyone else has strong feelings about this, so we're gonna move on. Next match up on the docket here. Global Esports versus Rex Region Keon.
Oh, wonder what I voted.
I
wonder what I
Here we
voted.
go again.
Okay,
oh.
global fanboy.
If I see a GE logo, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave.
Hey.
Bro believes so much in Polvi right now.
Hope last week. I'm now a deconverted fan of GE now.
Deconverted.
Ah, there we go.
Okay,
It's
He's
okay.
clean.
lost his faith.
It's clean. It's
I
clean.
l-
It's clean.
okay. Look, I really am frustrated as to how global esports starts really hot and then ends it really cold. They will go really well with how they play around Povey and Lightning Fast. I swear. Not a lot of people watch GE games, but I'm one of the few 0.1% of the population right now that watches GE games. I am really tired by the fact that there is going to be some really, really bad IGLing and mistakes over crucial rounds, especially on gun rounds. They lost over 2 or 3 ecos from that match against Talon. And what does that mean? They don't play around really well in terms of what's going to be the mid-game decision. As to RRQ, that has been playing really well, there has to be like a very good consensus that RRQ has the better IGLing in this series. So if I am not going to see a Polvi and Lightning Fast of a good performance, then this is going to be an easy game for RRQ. But then again,
Oh, easy.
yeah, I am now. You can guys remove all GE merch from my head right now because there is no way I'm going back to the global esports ecosystem ever again. It was a good run. It was a good 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
It
But
was?
I mean,
all-
that's a
What do you
long
mean?
paragraph for like surrendering on GE.
Bro
but,
immediately broke up with his girlfriend after 2 weeks, bro.
all
They
the
had
whole
one little
slots,
fight. It's like, hey, can I have?
you
what do you want to
I-
have
I
for
really
dinner?
I really had like a great time watching that Icebox against Tala. It was 13-4. Wow! Global Esports had something. And
Yeah,
it
at
was a
least.
good frag out of Lightning Fast. They went into Breeze and choked the hell out of Breeze. What the hell? That was
Hey.
so frustrating. All they had to do was win one round and not let Benkai get overstepped by a smoke. And what do you know? He did. And they lost. Yeah,
Okay.
mm,
Let's
That's it.
That's
let's
enough. Calm down. Calm
let's
down.
slowly move away
Salvatore.
from GE and
I
actually
think
talk about
Hell yeah.
you're
RRQ.
overthinking this. I think you're overthinking this, Salvatore. I just
Yeah.
look the way I predicted this is I just look at their flags. I see a Korean and Russian, and I don't
Okay,
see
L,
anything
stop.
on GE, and that's it. They win, right? Simple argument.
Stop.
And if
Yeah,
and if,
yeah.
we, And if you base it off of like statistics from like another games, yes, I mean it's always the Koreans and the Russians that win, right? So case closed, right? Attorney, that's my defense.
Okay,
To
okay.
your
Let
analysis,
Let's
man.
move on. Let's move on, Ace.
let's wait.
Please.
Let's stop.
That was like the most euphemistic way to
You know
downgrade
what?
my opinion.
You know it's time to move on when L starts yapping race. We need to move on. We
It's
need to move on.
nationality.
We're
Come
we're we're
on.
gonna we're gonna move on from GE. Let's talk about RRQ, right? Who didn't necessarily have the best performance last week, but right, the other egg that showed up last week was Flipsider, and I'm gonna give a lot more credit to Flipsider than to Jesse Vash. You know why? Because
Why?
RRQ won the
Because
map.
11 is better than
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
RRQ won the map. Team Secret, Jesse Bash got slapped about, and then they lost. For RRQ, Flipsider got slapped about, but they still won. And I think that's I have a lot more hope for Flipsider and RRQ in general. I think if we were to revisit the tier list, I'd still keep them at around that range as well. So I again RRQ, we considering GE getting kind of slapped about the last few weeks, then
Yeah.
RRQ it is. So
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
other big feelings?
No, I think we should move
Nah,
on. We have a lot more
nah.
predictions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for this next matchup because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
this next matchup.
we're gonna lose our V's on this one.
Okay, moving on. So it's Team Secret versus Paper Rex. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Kim cook with the timing on this one.
Let it explode. Let it just simmer.
Right, we're gonna let it simmer a little bit. Give it a couple of seconds,
What is this, a
and
podcast or a cooking show?
I will die.
It's
This prediction, guys. I will die on this hill.
I
I
will.
will
Yeah,
die on this
fair.
hill.
I will also die on this hill. So,
You
take it
guys are
away.
intense. You guys are intense. I'm not gonna die for shit.
I'm just you're not gonna die. I'm just gonna watch.
Real.
But yeah, I think we all know what everyone's gonna.
Hey.
I think we all know what everyone's gonna predict here. It is Team Secret versus
There we
Paper X.
go.
Maybe if it was like 2 years ago when Paper X was something, was Jing was not in yet, when Benkai was still in, or when it was Champions Form Team Secret, maybe then the prediction would be different. But now it's just no contest. Paper X
I
is just gonna win this
if
all every
by
time.
somehow Team Secret wins, the next time on this podcast, I'm gonna eat adobo on stream.
For
If
the
by
in
somehow
honor of
Team
the
Secret
Adobo
wins.
gang.
Yeah, in honor of the
Yeah.
adobo gang, I will eat adobo on
Okay,
stream.
is that the best you can do? I chose to color my hair blue if DFM won.
Yeah,
Come on, give me
L.
something better,
I
bro.
mean, my
Like
hair's already colored.
dapat
Fair.
dapat
Make
some adobong uod something like that.
Bro,
No.
how am I
is
gonna
that
find that, bro?
is that even a thing,
I don't
Max?
know. We can make it a thing.
As long as you're cooking
Close.
it.
Is that hygienic?
As long as you're cooking it.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Paper X, I think there's no way. There's no way
Yeah,
Team Chica's gonna win this.
no way.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an easy
I,
Yeah.
prediction.
I talked about this earlier, right? Even if they play all the Sova maps in the world, it's still gonna be Paper X because Paper X just can, it's just a different beast. And even if they I mean, it's better for Paper X if they pick like the non-Sova maps, but either way, it's
They're
heads
still
or
good.
heads on the coin.
Dude, they're just better, right? Even if it's a
Yeah,
even if it's a Sova map, the playbook just looks so much more deeper for Paper X. They have so many options of how they can win, right? They can count on Jing, they can count on Forsaken, they can count on the calling, they can count on Alex. Holy balls, man! It's just so deep, right? As compared to if it's a Team Secret thing, if the win condition would be for nobody to show up on Paper X. And that's a hard bet because what do you have? You have something, you have Mind Freak, you have freaking Forsaken, again, you have Jing. Like, I don't know, right? Someone, maybe if someone has diarrhea or something, I don't know. There's just no way.
it's only
Yeah.
like an off chance that Team Secret can beat Paper X like they do back then, right? So still, there's possibility of Team Secret winning, but Right now, very very slim.
I think
It's
that
Yeah.
that
not like it's not
possibility
like
is
back
Even if
then.
even if CGRS miraculously plays once again for PRX, I still see PRX winning.
Dude, CGRS was really good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
But there were some really struggling. Nah, I'm not even gonna get close to that take. But yeah, it's really that like a struggle of a mindset for Team Secret to go echelons of a game style that could even level to PRX.
yeah.
If there's a lot to recover actually in order for them to just be close, not even like on like the middle ground, just close, not even the levels above them
Yeah.
when they play around PRX.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's an easy PRX 2-0 for me.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
they just seem more put together, basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay.
I
That's
think
that's it.
that's about it, right? There's nothing much to be said here.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna move on. Next one on the docket here, T1 versus Talon.
Yeah, I think this
Take it
is
away, Derek Kim.
I think this is one of the more interesting head-to-heads that we
Yeah.
need. We're gonna predict this week because this is one of the closer ones. But if you take a look at the stats, Talon hasn't been having a good start to Pacific. I mean, yes, they won 2 series already, but it's Bleed and Global that they beat, and it wasn't the cleanest of series. It was 2-1, won 3 games, so it is looking rough for Talon. But at the same time, T1 isn't looking the best either. They lost to DFM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
mm,
uh,
I don't know.
but talking about T1 specifically, right? Their current form was really good. I don't know if you guys know, but the last time that T1 actually played the Swish IGLs, they put Xcurate on the IGL role, which is not surprising to me, knowing that he was IGLing when he was still playing CS. And by God, they look like a different team. You put Xcurate on the IGL role, and holy crap, they looked insanely good. The calling was good. The mid rounding was pretty good over that last series that we watched, and I wouldn't
Oh
be
yeah,
surprised if
that's true.
they beat Talon 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mm,
kind of like I remember this meme. T1 versus RQ, right? They put Xcret as the IGL, and then I saw a meme like, I used the Indonesians to beat the Indonesians. and it's kind of funny because right now you have like an American, like technically governors American. You have Americans and Koreans, and then some random Thai and Singaporeans
Oh,
fighting
L's
together,
doing
right?
it again. He's doing it again,
So
guys.
he's
no,
doing
no,
the
yeah,
national
really?
team
no, no, no.
again.
I'm just talking about how they're equally matched in terms of the nationalities.
We
Just
should put together a segment called the Alt F4 rant, where you take a sip of Alt F4. Yes, sponsor us Alt F4. And before you go on a rant, you have to take a sip of Alt F4 with the shaker bottle and the logo in front of you first.
I give me the resources. I will do that every time we go on these
Take a
tangents.
shot of Alt F4 every time L mentions a nationality.
And yeah, but going back, yeah, T1 I think better overall, especially with the brand new style with X-Ray on the helm, and Talon. Yes, I get it. They're kind of finding their form. They even imported a coach, but it again, you're trying to fit a piece in the puzzle, but the piece doesn't even belong in the puzzle, right? It's like from another dimension or something like that. So Talon is in a weird way, kind of like having Ye, but for Talon, the Ye is the coach, right? So it's another stylistic difference for me from what I see in their games. But
Yeah.
for this matchup, it's T1. Overall better, macro is better, and you have Saya player on your side. I don't think you're gonna get
Saya,
anything.
oh my God, Saya is
uh,
insane.
another key thing. But you know what's funny? Like the same time that Elle is talking about nationalities, I can see the comments here from Bill R. That GG. Is it better to have three Indo, one KR, or three KR and one Indo? Don't forget the Russians.
They know the sauce. They know the sauce, right?
This
They
is
know
why
the
you
sauce.
stay away from VLR, okay?
Comments
Like
are all about nationalities, dude. So
Oh
funny.
my
I
god,
know the sauce,
no.
man. I know the sauce. They know the sauce as well. They are
Okay.
mocking the
Is
same
this
thing as
what
me.
organizations are hiding from the spectators? We
Okay,
should
I'm
base our
gonna
roster from nationality.
Okay,
I'm gonna
let's stop.
stop before it gets out of hand. And I mean, no one else is talking. I mean, we're all in the same boat for this one. So we're gonna move on to the next one here on the docket: Gen G versus Zeta Division. I expect this to be one-sided in votes, but let's find
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
We should put in yeah.
Is
Next week, I think I should put like
Dun,
a
dun,
sound effect
dun, dun,
for the
dun,
reveal of
dun,
this.
dun,
is
dun,
there
There we
like
dun,
go.
dun,
the
dun, 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 dun,
thing?
dun. There has to be elevator music
There
playing
has to
before we do
be
it.
something. No, there is. Yeah, we're gonna cook something. Like our tech director Kim is great. We're just continuing to innovate. But anyway, yep, all across the board, Gen G expected to win against Zeta, and I think the biggest thing in defense of this statement from the five of us is the fact that Zeta just lost a team secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard
Uh,
deal to be made, right, for Zeta winning. But I think the only thing that's going to be saving Zeta is that Genji still has a match against DRX first, right? Like that's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So
True.
Yeah,
they have more videos to review. They have more matches rounds to check where they can find mistakes for Genji, if ever they find that mistake. But either way, even if they did all their homework, still it's on another level, Genji. So yes, I think it's going to be a proving ground for Zeta on that DRX match for Genji, but right now I don't see it. Even with Laz popping off the chamber, Genji is the number one team right now in APAC that can secure wins just from basing off playstyle. And Zeta's playstyle is put Laz on chamber and that's it. Right? It's very
Mm-mm-mm.
easy to win.
Genji is more like very much crafted according to the strengths of every single individual in team. So I don't. They've come a long way too. I mean, I think it's just self-explanatory at this point. So
yep. Gen G have they have stage experience. They were able to experience like as much pressure as possible on the grand finals of Madrid. They've had more time to cook. They've had time to address the weaknesses that were exposed in Madrid, right? And I just don't see Zeta doing it, knowing that they lost against freaking Team Secret. And with that being said, no one else with strong feelings here, and I don't expect strong feelings because it's five across the board. So moving on, next match here: Team Secret
Uh-oh.
versus Detonation. Focus me.
Uh-oh.
yo.
Whoa.
mm,
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
It's
Now
Mhm.
I'm
we
gonna get
wait.
roasted again.
I, to be fair,
I'm
I
just
don't think you're gonna get roasted. I don't know, bro.
I'm
oh
Because
gonna look.
gosh.
Wait, I'm gonna look back as to what I predicted, just so I could have
I,
like a.
I, for this entire week so far, right? I think the predictions have been pretty one-sided, except for Matt picking Mood
Oh,
again.
oh, oh! I just saw mine. Please don't at me.
Oh, okay. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll just wait for it to cook.
I
Guys,
saw.
sorry by the way. We can't see the prediction popping up
Yay! Oh,
live, but
Everyone chose Team Secret. Let's go.
okay.
Okay.
okay. I
Okay.
absolutely thought a random like brain cell popped into Matt's head and happens to choose DFM. I don't know why I chose Matt, but because of like random craziness, he has to pick
Alright.
DFM. I mean,
No, no,
he
no.
picked Blade for goodness sake.
I think
Bro,
there's only two ways this prediction's gonna end. It's either we're happy that they won or we're disappointed
Or
that
we're
they lost.
disappointed
Devastate.
again, right?
Right? So that's
But
the only
Yeah.
thing. There's not
I,
much
I
to look
think
into it.
the general emotion here is TSF finally won something, and now we feel hope.
Yep.
And we hope that we win. This is I'm 100% sure for all of us here that this is an emotional choice. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yep, it's an emotional choice. So yeah, I guess the Filipino has come out for us this week. Uh, and yeah, we're hoping that TS win, but I would not be surprised if DFM still win because
Yes, yes.
both teams have weaknesses, but uh, it depends on who's able to either cover up those weaknesses or abuse the weaknesses of the opposing team.
I mean, we just talked about Zeta last's prediction, right? And Zeta historically has been the better team against DFM if you compare them. And then Team Secret beating Zeta means that they should beat DFM as well, right?
By the transitive
By
property
the
of
transitive
mathematics.
property of Valorant, I guess. But the thing that's throwing me off here is DFM again. I go circle back to them beating T1. T1 is, I think, a different caliber of a team that Team Secret is trying to get to, and DFM beating a team like T1 means that beating Team Secret is not a possibility that is out of. Yeah, I think it's a possibility still. So there is a
Yeah,
chance DFM. I wouldn't be that surprised if DFM team beat Team Secret, but I would be devastated. It's. I hope Team Secret wins this. They should win this, but
yep.
there's a chance for DFM.
For the love of the Filipinos, right? If Team Secret win against DFM this week, then they stay in playoffs contention, and they will have been a couple of steps closer to making it into playoffs because you need to have at least two series wins to make it into playoffs. So we're begging on our knees, Team Secret, please do it. Okay,
One
moving
more.
on. Last one down here for the match predictions coming up for this following week. Oh, fun fact, right? One of the fans, one of the people who have been watching Tac Pause, apparently they used our week one predictions to put together a parlay in the first week, and this guy actually
Ooh.
won.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Next one, let's go.
Okay.
Get that bag. Get that
So,
bag.
We should
also
do
to give
that.
you guys a little bit of an
Yeah, we
idea how
should.
bad these predictions can get, on the Counter Strike side of the group, right? Sneaky Frog and Dropout Candy. Whenever they put predictions in for Focus Fire for the CS events, I think if I'm not mistaken, the worst they've gotten is like a 10% success rate. So,
10%.
so we're at least
For
on the
real?
better side. Yeah, yeah, for real.
That
So
is
The
anyway,
grass
moving
is
on.
greener over here.
The
that
grass is
is
Yeah, the
greener
grass
for the
is greener
Valorant side of
here.
Tac Pause.
Yeah, you
Uh,
get more money here, guys.
yeah. Anyway, so GE versus Paper X prediction is going to be coming out in a bit,
I'm
and
looking at one man and one man
I'm
only.
looking
Oh
at
yeah,
one
me
man in
too.
particular on the right side of the screen.
No, I was gonna say Benkai, but then we meant okay, okay. I thought y'all meant Benkai,
Dude,
but
I'm thinking of the same thing.
I
My
wish
brain's
tomorrow day
lagging.
where we mention global esports and not look at Salvatore. Difficulty impossible.
Nah, bro. You're gonna be living this down for the rest of the road to Shanghai. Okay.
I can't believe I used to be a global esports fan.
Yeah. Okay. So there it goes. Paper Rex all across the board. No surprises here. GE just looking messy. The only thing that GE have going
GE cause big
for
guy.
them is that Benkai came from Paper X, and maybe he has a little bit of an idea of how they
Yeah.
play, but it's just
It's a
such a
long,
minus.
long
It's just a
time.
small percentage of a chance that they can make
Yeah.
it, right? It's not even it's a fraction of a percent
And
in my
it's
head,
been
right? How it's gonna
it's
go?
been a
Like
long time.
someone's gonna have
Lots
to be
of
sick.
changes.
Benkai's gonna be having to be on all cylinders, and the worst part is Benkai's not even the IGL for GE. Holvy's gonna have to shoot every head, drop 70 something in a map, even more than Aspas, and then maybe GE wins. But that's not gonna happen anytime soon.
I
And besides, I
mean,
think
Yeah.
despite the fact that Benkai has a lot of insight on the way Paper X plays, I don't think it's gonna amount to much because Paper X, it isn't the most complicated of playstyles. They just brute force everything most of the
Yeah,
time, and they win. So it's not much to think about. Even though you know how it works, it's how to play against it that is something
Mm.
else entirely.
yeah.
yeah,
And I
that's it.
think like the one factor here to consider is that even when Benkai was gone from Paper X, they were still
They're
finding
still
success,
fine.
right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
They were
fine.
even
absolutely.
able to like reach their highest peak, like second place at champions, right? So I think even if he knows something or two, it's not gonna be not gonna hold up.
Consequential.
Yeah, because it's a
Mm.
whole different Paper X from what he knew before, right?
Yeah,
So it's just gonna be a different ball game, even if he knows like how to play
Okay.
against them. It's very different.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like,
MG. They've been so. Yeah, go ahead, Mochi.
but I mean, like, it's just really short. Just by basing from like how flexible paper decks can be, I feel like that's already that's already a big point to take into
Yeah.
account. Like, I don't even know how we would be able to like counter a strat and another strat from this drafting in this map, and then there's like a new there are thousands of possibilities that they can actually play out considering that one player, Forsaken, that
Forsaken.
is just crazy. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be an issue for global.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a masterclass.
Mm.
It's gonna be a massacre, right?
It
in
is.
all
It
in all
is.
Yeah,
shapes and
not gonna
forms.
be
But
surprised if PRX breaks out a record in this series.
my God. But anyway, I
Really?
think we're all expecting Paper X to win this. As you can see on the board, no surprises there. There is one glitch in the force that happened earlier where Bleed was chosen. But anyway, moving on. The
That
moment
was
we've all been
intentional.
waiting for,
Okay, this is
ladies
the best
and
part.
gentlemen, we have been cooking something up for the last week. Uh, take it away with the transition with the stinger, Miss Kiana.
Let's go.
Yo, that looks
Welcome to
Sheesh.
Fraud Watch.
Fraud
Okay, so
wow.
watch.
it's gonna be our new segment that's gonna be happening every week. We will be picking out two players or maybe one player if say for example some it's just one guy who doesn't perform the entire week. But for this week, we mentioned them quite a few times. There was an foreshadowing beforehand. Flipsider or Jesse Vash, right? Both having hit zero on one map in particular, both having won their maps. So for Fraud Watch, it's not really like condemning them, but it's like we've got our eyes on you, right?
Yeah,
Do
we're like on
something,
the
okay?
lookout.
You have to
Yeah.
do something. So for Jesse Vash 017 having lost really bad on Lotus, and then Flipsider, despite hitting 011, they still won the map. So if we put this to a vote, Jesse Vash, Flipsider, who do you guys think is to be put on Fraud Watch for the week? Who is under
Okay.
observation?
Okay, here we
Okay.
go. You go first, El.
Okay, so a fraud is, okay, by definition, a person or thing intended to deceive others, typically by unjustifiably claiming or being
He
credited
brings out the
with
freaking thesaurus.
accomplishments or qualities. So that means you're a fraud if you said you're good, but you're
But
actually
you're
not.
not.
The thing is, was Jesse Vashi actually good? Right? That's the thing. So does that make him a fraud or no? I think my
No,
my vote.
Man is
El,
walking on eggshells, my bro.
Pause.
Oh,
Pause.
We're here to put someone. We're voting if we are going to put someone on Fraud Watch. We're not calling them frauds. We're just gonna put
yeah.
them on Fraud Watch.
I mean, isn't are they on Fraud Watch already?
No, not yet.
Ah,
That's the
not yet,
point.
not yet.
That's the
Not
Ah,
yet,
point.
okay,
not
That's
okay,
yet,
El's
not yet.
okay.
We're
point.
deciding
Uh,
who's on Fraud Watch for the
Yeah.
week.
Okay. So
But
technically, I'm gonna have to go with Flipsider because he was actually good. And but then he.
I feel so bad for.
no,
Hot
listen.
takes,
this, ha-
everybody.
this has
I
to be a
felt
segment where
because
L
No,
gets
it's
to be the
not.
main
it's
character.
it's so funny because right where when you put someone on Fraud Watch, you're saying, okay, this guy's the worst one. But the way that El said it,
L's, L's so
this
built for
guy
this.
cooked. He cooked. Okay, he cooked.
Guys using reverse
You can't be a
psychology.
fraud. You
We
can't
were
be a
so
fraud if
ready
you're
for the
already
call,
bad.
bro.
You can't be a fraud if you're bad already, right? You have to be good first and then perform badly to be called a fraud,
Okay,
right?
okay. El said his piece. I want to say mine. Okay, taking a look at these two comps, these two players, right? I mean, I would admit to a certain amount of bias here because I know a little bit more about Team Secret than I do about RRQ. But if you take a look at Team Secret, the way they play their maps, the way they run their roster, the way they make their compositions, it's always based around some people. And one of those people is Jesse Vash. I mean, like it or not, they love putting him on that Sovat. He's the IGL. He calls the shots, and he's been in that roster since the beginning of time. And it seems like
Yeah,
he's
back
not
when they
going
were
away.
still
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go away anytime soon. So there's certainly a lot of focus of Team Secret on Jesse Vash, a ton of investments, and I think that's what makes a perfect candidate for Fraud Watch. You're supposed to be the star of your team, but are you? And I think that's the essence of Fraud Watch, which is why my vote is for Jesse Vash.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. Okay, I see.
Okay.
Salvatore, any opinions? Any defenses? Any subverting expectations?
Okay, so if we're gonna take a look at the past performances of Jesse Vash and try to allocate all the opinions as to why he is
Allocate the
possibly a
opinions.
fraud, uh, yeah, I would probably agree on Matt on how he tried to handle the connotation and putting fraud on Jesse Vash. So if Jesse Vash has been carrying a lot of the, well, not a lot, probably some form of pride, just from the start of their Team Secret run up until now. There is a good glimpse and a good limelight as to how Jesse Vash was able to anchor a good Team Secret team. So
Mm-hmm.
with that performance, it was very surprising because not a lot of people actually expected for Jesse Vash to
I
perform
could see
that way.
L's face when you said the word surprising. L was like,
Hmm.
surprising.
Because I mean, I could have seen a 217, 220, 218, but we never seen a 017. Well, at least that's for my site.
Okay, okay,
But
okay. I think
I'm just awaiting to the L explanation over this one. But yeah,
okay.
Jesse
I'll
Can I
Vash,
push
the
pause?
point.
Can
fraud
I
I'll
one.
push
pause for a second,
point.
guys? We're not hating on anyone here. We're just taking a look at someone's performance, and then, okay, are we going to keep a closer eye, a closer look at them,
Yeah,
depending on
like
how
they're
they
under
perform? Yeah,
monitoring for the
yeah.
week.
We're not calling them
Okay,
fraud.
They're
We're
on
okay.
just
Okay.
Right?
monitoring
probation.
them.
Like that means we're watching you prove us wrong, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That's it. That's yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jesse Vash. Okay. They've been okay. Wait.
He
That's
didn't
just
even.
my first word.
He's not starting,
I didn't
guys.
even get the
Give him the
thoughts, bro. We
chance.
just started
That's just my first
laughing.
word. Okay. That's Jesse Vash went 0-17 and lost. Right. Flipsider went 0-11 and
And
won.
one.
So technically, Flipsider should be the fraud because they won, right? He was carried by his team.
I
But
see. I
Jesse
see.
Vash doubled down on it. Wait, if I'm gonna go 0-17, I might as well lose, right? But you can't go zero. You can't have no kills and win. Just like boosting and rank, whatever. But yeah, still, his team is good. He's good. He is good. But then he performs like that. He's technically a fraud. But Jesse Vash, he got no frags. Then they lost. Can you call that a fraud if he actually was bad? And did
Okay,
they actually lost
in defense,
in
they
defense?
won
Yeah,
this series, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
came
they did.
back
yeah.
after the 017 and performed fairly well. I wouldn't say he top fragged, but he performed fairly well. So maybe that's grounds to put him in the good but possible fraudulent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so I think, or at least for me, right, I'd keep more of an eye on Jesse Vash as the fraud, and I'm actually expecting Flipsider to just easily come back from this, right? So for me, Jesse Vash is on fraud watch for the week. Mochi.
Uh, I mean, yeah, I have to say the same thing because Flipsitter is like there are some games that ooh he's top fraggy, ooh he's so consistent, ooh there are some games that is lacking, but you know it's doable, and then this time is like a 0-11. So I don't think it. I think it's okay. I mean, we always have some bad games from time to time. I doubt that pros don't have those as well. So I have to say that Jesse Bash might be the fraud.
I
Cause
mean,
Okay,
you know
ladies and
technically,
what?
Fraud
gentlemen,
watch. Much
by
not the fraud. Not the
I
fraud.
feel
Fraud
like yeah,
watch.
to be put
I
in fraud
mean,
watch.
should
Yeah.
wait. If you go by that, if it's fraud watch, should be Jesse Vash been on fraud watch ever since he got on partner teams.
to be fair, we didn't have
Listen,
tag pods. We didn't have
I'm
this segment yet.
smoking this right.
we
I'm
didn't have
smoking this. Well,
We didn't have the
Man,
podcast yet. We didn't
it's
have the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
burying
we don't
Jesse
have a
Bash.
podcast
Yeah.
yet.
So now he's
Live right
officially
now.
on Fraud Watch. But anyway, I think that settles it by not unanimous, by
Split
majority
decision.
decision. This week's player on Fraud Watch is everyone's favorite godfather of Philippine esports, Jesse Vash. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be keeping an extra careful eye on him. Not that our opinions matter, but yeah, over this week, it's actually pretty nice that we do have Jesse Bash on Fraud Watch. We're gonna be watching him over two series this week,
Yeah.
and we'll see the behavior. But does anyone have any other large, powerful feelings?
Nah, I've said too
I
many
think I'm
powerful
done.
feelings and a lot
Maybe
worse.
just a disclaimer. I'm scared. I digress.
Again. This is not us saying that the person is a fraud.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
us
yeah.
saying that they need to be observed.
Yeah, we're observing it. We're looking. I mean, who are we? I mean, everyone's looking at them, so we're just gonna
Yeah.
be part of the.
I mean,
group,
come on,
I
dude.
guess.
Team Secret was memeing on Jesse Vash in their own Twitters.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
I,
that's
res-
funny.
I respect the comedic value of Team Secret and the way that Jesse Vash handled it, right?
That's
On
true, that's
stage
true.
when they
I
won,
That's
this
love
guy
true.
was
how they
standing with a
handled it.
picture.
Yeah.
He had a photo holding up his hand like this, 0. He says, but we still won.
That's the best kind of banter. If you have 0 kills, you still win the series. Like, dang.
Yeah, dude, like, I guess I just don't need to play and we still win.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Jesse Vash on Fraud Watch. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it for this week. We're gonna be closing it off. It's me, Suave, here with Mochi, Datum, L, and Salvatore. Thank you so much for watching episode 3 of Tag Pause. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Tag Pause, and we're on YouTube live right now as well. If you guys want to keep up with it, and we appreciate your support because we're still continuing to innovate in terms of like the tech, the graphics, and everything here on Tag Pause. So, we're gonna keep we're just gonna keep doing our best. So hope you guys had fun this week. We're gonna be seeing you guys next week, same time, same place, YouTube and Facebook. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us in this week's Tac Pause. We're gonna go straight back in next week. See you guys next week.
You
Bye bye.
guys.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye,
Remember,
guys.
you can be on Fraud Watch.
I love Elf.
That has to be an outro. That has to be an outro.
Arguments every single time.
Dude, we need like a segment that L is the only one yapping. What's gonna be a hit?
I know,
Yeah.
I know the perfect title. Let him cook.
Uh,
Oh
my
yeah.
God.
I love L, man.
Wait, wait,
That
wait.
was
wait,
fun.
tanong ako, do
This
we-
man can this man can roast anyone and still be friends with him.
Yeah, for some reason, you know? Like he can roast that person, but the person wouldn't have any hard feelings at all. He's just gonna be rude.
It's going to be like what do you call this? Parang isang ano pa eh. Tangina na nakalimutan ko sasabihin ko. God. It's an honor to be roasted by L.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kung nga si